They all were against Boyka in favor of Cummings. Now he brought Sylvester Brisbane now to be a minister of state in his office. When you see Kun, he discouraged. But if Kun had joined them, he might have followed to be a winning school. So we did not join them, and they did not reach the threshold. They did not reach the threshold, and they dropped, and we won. So in the office of the president, Brisbane is there. What do you expect him to do? Do you expect him to promote Kun? Do you expect him to talk to the president, put him on Kun? Do you expect him to recognize all the recommendations from Kun? No! He is a representative. I just want to say that. Now, we did not know Owen Boyka and Sylvester Brisbane were attending CW. We did not know that Sylvester Brisbane was head of Owen Boyka's foundation. So with all the good relationship between them, why didn't Brisbane support Boyka for the presidency? Why did he want to come in? And after we win, he go bring the coming group and we refuse to support. So do you want us to be the victim? So you all think about it. You press, you support, it's not Boyka. We can't blame him. But you should know better too. He's a support man. Elderly man. Wise. When your friend, who works for you, is our political rival. And you are very political rival in the camp of coming down to be your secretary, the chief of staff. How will you look at all who did not support him?
French President Emmanuel Macron was shaking hands in southern France.
So folks, thank you for watching Spoon TV. The President, His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai, is today officially beginning work here at the Executive Mansion. The President is about to disembark this Monday as he is officially beginning work here from the seat of the Executive Mansion of the Republic of Liberia. Sylvester Cholople has been here. There he is, His Excellency President Boyka is about entering the Executive Mansion. This historic journey on today. President Boyka has entered the Executive Mansion to start working since he was inaugurated on the 22nd of January 2024. His Excellency makes his way to the presidential lift.
While I was happy, I did not jump to the scene. I was more concerned about what happens after the celebration. What happens to the hopes and aspirations of the people? All these celebrations, excitements, cries and yearnings for invitation to go to the inauguration. We end Monday night. Tuesday afternoon, there will be noise in town. I'm speaking as one who has won huge victories with the people. Every time you have massive victory to the people, their expectations to the roof. Tuesday, There will be some noise to come.
Exactly, bro.
And going forward, we who, by the grace of God, were graced to be the saints and the leaders of this nation, we must get ready.
We start by making sure those people that we bring to cabinet are people of integrity. And secondly, want to make sure that even beginning with myself, we'll declare our assets and want to make sure that this is well known, the purpose of coming to government, to know that it's public service. And if you are not ready to serve the public, you can go elsewhere. But we want to make sure that we start on a clear note that the people of our country stood on line, they protected the votes, not to bring a team again that will do the same thing that the other people are doing or worse. So it's a clear message, declare your asset, make sure that we are prepared to audit the outgoing government so that they tell the Liberian people of their stewardship, and to make sure that we start on a footing where people know that they come to serve the public and not themselves. If they don't understand that, they actually fall where it may.
Mr. President-elect, you talked about asset declaration starting from yourself and the people who work with you, as well as the outgoing administration. How do you plan to avoid the semblance of targeting people? Because some people will say these are politically motivated to tarnish their reputation or to go against them, people from certain tribes or specific parts of the country. How do you plan to avoid this?
We are aware of that. And when we talk about auditing, it's not going to be a Liberian auditing. We want to make sure that our international partners work with us for a public tender, for competent and renowned auditing firm that will be qualified at an international level to make sure they come on board to do that. We are aware of people saying witch hunting, but I don't think it's witch hunting when you have to account for your stewardship, but it has to be done in a way that is well-established, entity with reputation, to make sure that it audits and make sure that it reports to the public the findings.
Sometimes people say that politicians make lofty promises when they are campaigning, but when it gets to governance, it becomes different. What will be different? Assuming allies of yours, family members of yours, or people who are close to you, family members, are accused of corruption during your administration, Mr. President-elect, how do you plan to tackle this specifically?
I'm not coming new to government.
Right.
Although in different positions, I ran a public corporation that was credible. And I can tell you that I come to work not with friendship. I have friends, but there is a clear line of demarcation between friendship, family, and managing. With the experience that we come with a country that celebrates 176 years, and with the life of our people living below the poverty line, I don't think we come into government again to start thinking about family, to start talking about. I think we come there to make sure that will give the Liberian people hope, and I'm committed to that.
During the campaigning, you talked a lot about the country's youth, who are the majority of the population.
Yes.
Mr. President-elect, we know majority of them are unemployed, which some people say is a danger to the country's stability and peace. What plans do you have for the people of Liberia, especially the youth, in terms of job creation, in terms of having faith in moving the country forward? What do you have for them?
We came with a mantra that talked about, first we have a platform, and then we have in a brief platform that talks about arrest, meaning agriculture, roads, the rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism. We believe these are areas in which we can jumpstart. And in those areas, we believe that our young people who are in the majority, they need to be equipped. We need to open opportunities for them to be trained and be marketable. We also have to make sure that the quality of education that will prepare them for the job market. But to do this, we have to be able to impress our partners and investors, the private sector investment, to make them feel that we are here for business, and this business, their investment will impact the young people, but the young people need to be trained. And we know that there are things that we can jumpstart that could bring little relief to the public. Like I have said, there is an outgoing government. There are a lot of areas in which we can begin to alleviate the suffering of the people. We're going to examine those areas, like where we know that the prices of commodities, essential commodities like rice and things, where we know that.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, Stan coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
Okay, tune to Spoon to get your information, tune to Spoon to know what's happening in Liberia, what's happening in the ministries, the agencies. Of course, this is where you get authentic information about the happenings across Liberia. This is where Liberians gather every single day to have their say when it comes to the day-to-day activities in the country, the everyday happenings in Liberia. I want to say welcome to the show again. We're here live across the Spoon Network. This is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. And I want to say welcome. My name is Nelson Colette, and thanks to all of you who have joined us online. We're there on YouTube, Spoon Talk Live. We're on Spoon TV on Facebook, Fabric TV, and Super TV as well. Thanks to all of you for making up time to be here with us tonight on the program. Thanks to all the partner radio stations that are always relaying this program. We're being relayed on Gibi FM in Kakata, Gibi County. Thanks to the team there, and to all the radio stations in Bombing County, Trust FM. We appreciate the team there as well. And yeah, thanks to all of you who are part of this journey. This is how we can make our country better. We can all talk about the issues. Now, back in the days, Liberia experienced so many years of civil unrest because we did not have a platform like this where we could express ourselves. So a lot of people thought that the best way they could do it was by going to the butches. But today, fortunately for us, we have these kinds of platforms where we can express ourselves, where we can say how we feel about our policymakers, the things that they are doing, how they are proceeding. We can have our own disagreements with them on platforms like this. So it's great to be here. Let me go across and bring in the team. I see George Wheeler is the first to be here tonight. So let me welcome The man, the lone CDC fighter on the show. Sometimes he gets assisted by Vasco. What's the guy's last name?
Sumo,
George,
Sumo, Vasco
okay,
Sumo,
that's it, Smith,
Vasco
yeah,
Sumo.
yeah.
Yeah.
But George, it's good to have you on tonight. What's going on?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's incredible. It's Saturday here, Saturday morning. It's almost 10 o'clock. Sorry, it's almost 11 o'clock on a Saturday
Okay.
morning. The sky is blue, and I'm excited to be here because we're here again to tell the Liberian people exactly what this rescue mission is not about. Yeah, and I'm happy to be here. So I hope we can bring the other
What
guys on because
you
there's a
said,
lot going on in my head this time.
and it's a good thing that we're here. Yes, we can start the show. The guys will come on, but you said you want to tell the Liberian people what the rescue mission is not about. It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The rescue
okay.
mission is not about rescuing Liberia. It's about rescuing people who have been in abject poverty for the past 6 years. If you can tell from the beginning, you see that during President Weah's regime, we have
Mhm.
only one minister of our portfolio, right? Portfolio. Currently, we have more than three, and it tells you that people are being employed because there's a way they want to absorb people, to get people jobs, to get people earning, to have a life. And I think that's what it's all about. These people
But
think they
Josh,
rescue themselves.
will you agree that the president
Hmm.
can create additional positions when necessary?
That's Nelson.
You
I
know,
agree. I agree. I agree. But if you look at the office of the president and you
mhm.
have three ministers of our portfolio, then you start to think, what are they for? What are they going to be doing? You know what I mean? That that tells you that even Mandela Cooper, you know, giving her the portfolio of advisor, political advisor, senior political advisor. Can you imagine? These people are just, handing out jobs because these people need a living, and it's quite a painful thing to see why Liberian people continue to suffer because now, what they told us about, like, cost of living, rice prices, all those things, cement, and all these things that they said, George, we are stealing the money, so people were, buying rice expensive and everything else. Nothing is reducing. Even Civil 7, there's nothing they are saying anymore about Civil 7 pay increment. Nothing is happening. It's just all about themselves, giving themselves jobs and positions to get money from the Liberian people again. It's sad, and that's not what the tours are going to be doing. So it's
Wow.
incredible that people are still
But
silent. I think
Josh, a
because
lot of
people
people
think it's still
listening to
early.
you
That's why.
a lot of people listening to you now may not be surprised because here, from the very start of this platform, you're one of those persons who started this platform with us. And you came here from the very start, standing so strong against Ambassador Boakai. You stood against his election. You fought tirelessly. The guys can say what with your sweat and blood. You fought with everything within
Yeah,
you. You fought with everything
yeah.
within you. And your fight did not succeed. You didn't succeed in your fight. Today, he's president of the country. So many of those people say they are not surprised. I'm receiving text messages. They're sending me message. Even Amy send me message not too long to say she's not surprised that George is saying all these things because he's a supporter of
Oh
the
God.
TDC. Amy, welcome to the show. Marshall Territory. It's great to have you on.
Thank you, Nelson. I
I
wanted to
wonder
come
she's the mayor
on
of the
later,
Marsh
but I heard
territory
George
as
speaking
well.
all the time, but I had to come on early.
Oh,
Yeah, listen to her.
so
God,
Josh, how
God.
you coming on
Yeah.
early because you already saying everything? But
Mm.
but
You
it's the
were
rescue
you were
mission.
still free because you're on the
No,
show by
no,
himself.
listen. Is this rescue mission actually about rescuing the country? Josh is saying something else, and it's good that you came on. I mean, this
Yeah,
this this rescue,
that's why I
this
came on.
mission. Is it really about rescue? Are we seeing the actual rescue that we anticipated?
It's about rescuing, Nelson. Rescuing does not mean, I told you, I don't know, it was yesterday or the day before. It does not
Mhm.
mean that the moment will come to power in 2 weeks, we're going to wave the magic wand and everything will be gravy. That's not what he never. Let George show me a tip where the president ever said that. So the Liberian people that this country is in a mess for 6 years. Nothing. If you just take a Hummer, right? and break something right away.
Mhm.
You would break it in 2 seconds. But to put that thing back together, you would take hours, if not days, to do that. Okay? So I don't know who Judge Joyson he's trying to fool here. Let people know better.
Nelson,
They are logical. They know reality. You don't come in. The cabinet has not even been put together. The president's plan is not even being implemented.
the
Then he's
cabinet-
sitting out there. He wants to see rest price change. He wants to
I
in
mean-
2 weeks. He wants to see
I mean-
rest price.
I mean-
What does
I
that
mean-
happen?
let me hold you there.
Where? Let he tell me in the world where.
Nelson, please ask my sister a question. Please ask my sister a question. Look, can she name anything that was shattered, that was destroyed in Liberia that needs years to put back together? Just tell me. Just give me a snapshot of exactly what you see that was good and got destroyed by George Weah and needs to be rebuilt and it's going to take years. Tell me.
Our security sector has been destroyed. Okay, you
How?
destroy 7 pay. That needs to be rearranged. However, it's going to be done. The president will figure it out. Him and his team, they'll figure it out and let us know. And a whole lot of stuff.
And a whole lot. I mean,
Nelson, don't bring your UP team here tonight. Nelson, don't bring your UP team here tonight. Okay, just hold on. Let Master Territory explode.
A whole lot. It's so much though. I can't even name that. Nobody's saying Madam Ellen was a superstar or anything, but she did well from bringing the country up from somewhere from the Civil War. Now we feel like we're back to after 1990. That's how it looks like. So we have to building parks and all of that. It's not development. You will leave LDC. It's good. Don't get me wrong. Park is good, but there's something to call priority. When you got so much thing to do, you pick the most important ones and do it.
Wrong with it. Yeah.
Before
The most important ones now is the bread and butter issue. The bread and butter issue.
Exactly. Building park is not bread and butter issue.
We're gonna have
with no security in the country. Our people are going to bed with iron bars that they are in prison. That is not bread and butter issue.
Thank you.
That is something that is not building park. The children don't have no fitting good buildings for schools and all of that. You talking about you pay watch fee. That is not bread and butter issue.
Am I muted? No, I don't think I'm muted.
No, you're not. You're not.
Francis, welcome to the show, man. It's good to have you on.
Yeah, thank you. I heard George talking about running like using boat from Jamaica to count on the show here because our running 20 miles per hour to count the show. Man, they make a draft face. George get draft face. And here all the CDC people you see asset door that count asset door that count on Spoon Talk, then Sam Jackson. The people that can't lick that face. The people got no shame. You see, George was.
There you go. Your internet, your own internet. But this is important. George have started criticizing the Unity Party government in a very short time. The government is 2 weeks old, and George says the rescue is not about rescue. It's not about rescuing the country. It's about
2 weeks old.
It's about excuses. It's about excuses and enriching themselves and giving their gangs. They are giving their gangs some jobs. That's all they're doing.
We're about to take on the conversation, but let's do our quick what's on your mind. Cindy, welcome to the show, and I want you to just start up with what's on your mind, and then we take on the conversation from there.
How you guys doing? You guys can hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's good to be here tonight. I don't have much on my mind except that I'm looking forward to a great show. Confirmation hearing are ongoing. People are being confirmed. Marshall Territory. Roger yourself, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
The confirmation hearings are going on and people are being confirmed. I would think that it will be done on with a little speed. I think it's a little slow, given that some of our ministries and agencies are not functioning at the moment. So I will hope that the Senate will speed this thing up so the government can get running. President Bouaka also promised us some 100-day deliverables. We are looking forward to those 100-day deliverables. I believe that some of them may not be achieved given the slow process. I mean, the slow speed right now when it comes to the appointments and the delay in the appointments and the confirmation. But hopefully that some of those deliverables will be achieved, especially the issue of road. We were told that no car will be stalking on any Liberian road. Granted that we are in a dry season, but even in dry season, some areas are still terrible. So I hope that there'll be some work done and not just dependent on the dry season, right? Not just dependent on the sun to face the road. So hopefully the machines are being deployed, especially my area of Grand Gita, my man, the whole Grand Gita now, it's a terrible place. You know that, Nelson. If you have to be going there's somebody going on a farm. We are completely isolated. So hopefully the machines will be deployed in those areas to start working on the road.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Cindy. Francis, let's move on to you since you were invited.
Sorry, guys. I call came in and just messed up the whole thing. I gotta get another gadget so I don't be interrupted. But like I was saying, the citizens got too much dry face. They don't even their math don't even add up. How you got a problem that is existing now, like EDC? You put it on the current president. You put it on the current president. A problem right now. You put on the current president. Then they go back and say, "Oh, don't take our WASP fee, or free education, this, that, and the other." Nothing. I told you this story before. There's nothing free. There's no such thing as free. A lot of people need to understand this, and that's why they lied to the people, and they were stealing all the money. Then they say they were giving them free education. In other countries, the public school system is funded by taxpayers, right? It's funded by taxpayers. First of all, how many people in Liberia, ordinary citizens in Liberia, have jobs that are paying taxes before you even talk about free public education? And you get what you deserve, because if you cry for free education, and then you looking at the school. When I was in Liberia in junior high school, there were a maximum of 45 students in a class. Today you go somewhere, you get some counties, you get upward to maybe 80 students in a class. Crammed up. I have a picture of the University of Liberia, students sitting on the floor, standing by the window, students in leaking buildings. How you expect the government is not generating funds through taxes from the citizens? Because most of the taxes the government generate is from the companies that come in, right? But then what do they do with it? They steal it. So if the government is stealing and the citizens don't have jobs, there's no private sector job for them to be able to pay taxes, where is the money coming from to get up to date library, science labs, computer labs, and things like that in the public school system? That's why you see they have they call it the American school system, that people pay $7,000 a year, $5,000 a year. Who goes to those schools? People that work for the government in the top positions, and also big business people. But what happened to Mama and Pa John, the carpenters or Michael Omane and stuff like that? What happened to their children? You see? So when people talk about free education, they should think. Even a Baka cancel that whole free education thing. Somebody yesterday in the comment section, some guys are arguing. The other guy told his colleague, "You pay graduation fees on $200. That $80 WASP fee you can't pay."
Thank you, Francis.
So let us start thinking about free education. Georgia did this, Georgia did that. Let Baka make the country open where investors will come, people will get jobs, so that mama can pay our children's school fee as opposed to waiting for government to pay for them. And it goes to
Thank you, Francis. Let's hold you there. We want to move on to our talking points now. But Josh, let's hear you quickly. Then we hear Amy out, and then we move on.
Thank you, Nelson. And I really feel, for my colleagues here on this platform, because I know defending is hard. And for the next 6 years, it will be like passing, a rotten bucket, put water in the bucket and there's a lot of holes and you're trying to pass it up. That's how it's going to be like. It's sad, but, we got to give it to them because it's brave, to come here while people are looking up to this government to deliver, and the pace is so slow, according to my brother, Sandy. Look, Sandy, I understand the problem. I'm from the southeast, and I live in Zwedru, Zulu Whiskey, when I work for Action Frame, doing food security assessment of the whole southeastern region. So I work there, so I know what it is when that section of the country is cut off from the entire country. I know how your people are going to be focusing only on agriculture to get their food. But the thing is, Joe Boakai has been in government for almost 42 years prior to this term. He knows exactly what the Liberian people need. He knows exactly what the problem is. He has been sitting down at home for 6 years, strategizing for this position. He's gotten the position, and he still cannot make any decisive decision. He said George Weah stole the money, and George Weah did this, George Weah did that. George Weah was giving the people free education. He was paying wire fees, and he was building at least some recreational parks around the country and building proper homes. President Boakai has taken power. Since he has taken power, he has never spoken anything about the free wire that has been paid by George Weah. He hasn't spoken anything about even the civil servant salary that were harmonized, because he said it was because of Weah's roguishness that these monies were cut from the people. He's not speaking anything about that. He's not even talking about the rice prices that is creeping, getting higher and higher every day since George Weah left power. And we are here to talk about, it's George Weah that created it. It's a shame that you come here and defend a man who is just sitting somewhere, giving all his current work. And can you imagine, during George Weah time, we have only one minister of our portfolio, Chokon Kui. Now we have 3 advisors. We got almost 4 now. I think the executive master, they have to extend it, to put rooms there for other people that he's going to be giving jobs to. Because all the gangs that were behind him, that were causing all the noise, he's trying to give them positions in his government. And the poor people who are walking the street, people are still doing street selling. And he's not doing anything about it. We want policies to start to get into place. We want you to tell this is what I'm going to do for the next 6 years. This is what I'm going to do to alleviate the stress on the families. That by paying school fee, by doing this, by doing that. You're not even increasing a civil servant pay, because civil servants are the only people in the country that are working. You're not increasing their pay. And then they have now to pay for their wire. They have to pay for their own school fee. They have to pay for everything. So it's a loss in translation when you come here and want to make us to believe that George Weah did everything bad, and you cannot even say what you can do to make it good.
Let's hear from you. Finally, Amy, go ahead.
So, my people, oh gosh, where do I start? My brother George said defending is hard. It's only hard when the person you defending is indefendable. But when the person you defending is on the right path, I don't see what makes it hard. I think to accuse the president that they're not doing something, that's what makes it hard. Because Liberian people, they are very, very smart and logical. They're not going to sit here and think about and not be rational and somebody come and put something in their head. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Nobody wants to do what George Weah did because George Weah failed. I don't think anybody want to copy that template to do what he did. Nobody. President Boakai has his own template that he want to roll with. And until he can get everything in order, President, you said he's been in government forever.
Let me ask you a question, Amy.
Let me learn.
So let's take the 6 months. The first 3 months, right? The first 100 days into consideration. 2 weeks into the 100 days. Where do you think we should be at this time?
We should be where we at, Nelson. Joe Boakai is not going to come and do the work himself, is he? He got to appoint people, right? To get the job done. When the president, because he's been there for 50 years or 80 years, 100 years, is he the one running every government ministry? I don't think so. He has people in the ministry who are running it. So he has to appoint people. Until that appointment can be done and the government is settled and everybody in place, nothing will happen till that happens. So I don't know who George trying to fool here. 2 weeks. If President we already did well, we should still be feeling that impact. In 2 weeks. Now he did so much well. And then when he left, like just 2 weeks and the country started to crack, according to George, then he never did anything in the first place.
Very interesting.
So what are you coming here to fool?
Now,
We should still be feeding that George. We are impact. He just left 2 weeks.
2 weeks into the administration, considering that we have 100 days deliverable at hand. 2 weeks. Where do you think we should be at this time, Francis?
I mean,
nothing like I said. When everybody get into place, and my brother Sandy said maybe some of it we might not be able to something because everything is slow,
come back to you,
confirmation and everything.
They got only
But I'm
90
pretty
days
sure
now,
we're
Nelson.
gonna get
90
there.
days.
Guys, please mute. Guys, please.
George,
mute.
when you're talking, I did not interrupt you.
Yeah,
Don't
so-
do that to me.
So
in the 2 weeks, it's only 2 weeks, Nelson.
Mhm.
It's only 2 weeks. Be patient. Don't let the people from under the psychometry rub
Okay,
on you.
2 weeks.
It's gonna happen.
We should be talking about nominations and everything, appointments, confirmation hearings. 2 weeks. But how long do you think it should go for? This phase, this particular stage. How long?
I think they should speed it up. To be honest with you, I think it.
But now you agreeing with Josh. I mean,
no, I'm not agreeing with George. Don't do that. Don't do that to me, please. Don't do that to me.
agree with George. I just think should be
I am
speed
not
up.
agreeing with George. I'm agreeing with Cindy, not George. I'm saying that the confirmation hearing they should speed it up a little bit. I'm not agreeing with George. There's nothing that George said here that is true about a government supposed to come in 1 week or 2 weeks and money start falling for heavy and the gold start floating and all the wrong policy that was doing in the past government all of a sudden magically be erased. Impossible. It doesn't work.
Thank you. Francis, where do you think we should be at this time? 2 weeks.
I mean, exactly where we are, but also things should start. We should look look to the future, right? Like someone, our brother, what's his name? My Janet's son say, "Oh, Francis, I told you guys a serious talk with the government is continuing it." Yes, government is continuing it, but while we're trying to continue the government, we're not equally so sit here and let people come and just lie blatantly to the Liberian people. Okay, so we know the issue of electricity was nothing good under George Weah. Some of us went to Liberia during George Weah regime. We know Joseph Boakai is going to be held accountable. That's why even on Spoon Talk, CEO they're talking about the whole money captain thing. Me, I just think money captain should be kicked out. He should be kicked out. The man been at Central in town. NEC is like Christmas light and it's not making any progress. So that's part of the thing that's Joseph Boakai's problem with that because he can say money captain, I have appointed somebody, you will be out. But he's not saying anything about it. So yes, we will beat Joseph Boakai head on that issue. But we're not going to sit here and let people come and make it seem as though the Joseph Boakai is messing things up in 2 weeks when he's just putting his cabinet together. Can it go faster? Yes.
Francis, at this particular stage, how long do you think it should go for? Now we're talking about 2 weeks. Very soon we'll be talking about 3 weeks. Nomination.
The first month after inauguration,
hearings.
The first month after
the first 30 days.
The first 30 days. That's reasonable. That's reasonable because think about it. The Senate, they have to confirm people. Nelson, in Liberia, we take everything for joke. Confirmation hearing in a serious country. In Nigeria, Nelson Colette appointed to LBS, come to the Senate, says, Nelson Colette confirmed. No, they have to investigate your past. They have to investigate your past and some of your positions that you are taking in your past, in your private life and public life. Some of these things take time. And not just, Nelson Colette. We know Nelson Colette. This is not care for LBS. No, this is serious issue.
Thank you.
Our country depends on competent people and serious people running it. So you have 30 days at least. It should be good to confirm all this cabinet.
Sandy, let's hear from you on this. Sandy, 2 weeks into the administration, where do you think we should be at this time?
Look, Nelson, I said it. I think we can accelerate the process a little bit more. For me, my focus is really on the appointments. We came here and told the Liberian people that our country is in a big mess.
Yeah.
And that they need to be rescued. When you have identified the problem, what you need to do is to speed up the process to rescue. That requires some high level of efficiency at an accelerated rate. And for us to rescue the country, especially we're talking about things that lack of electricity in the country, that problem cannot be put on President Boakai, right? We can attribute that problem to the past administration. But for us to resolve that issue, we will have to make accelerated decision backed by action.
So you think you are saying that we should not be here at this point? We should not be at the stage where we're talking about appointments and confirmation hearings in 2 weeks, considering that there is 100-day deliverable at hand right now.
Major positions should have been, all of them should have been appointed by now. Major positions.
What do you consider major? What is major and what is minor?
The issue of electricity is major. We're still not even talking about it. Liberian people still confused whether Mr. Carter should be there or not. JFK, we still haven't heard anything at JFK. Granted, the Ministry of Health is
have a health minister, yeah?
Well, granted. But there are key institutions, Nelson, that should be prioritized. That should be prioritized.
Thank you. Josh, at this point, where do you think we should be 2 weeks into the administration? You are muted.
Sorry. At this time, you keep muting me, so because you don't want me to, I don't know, but it's okay. By this time in 2018, we had 99.99% of the government in place.
2 weeks into your administration, into the CDC administration.
Yes, we have 99.99%, of the government in place already. The names are already submitted. Everyone was just even the confirmation was halfway into completion. And because the thing is that if you win an elections in November, right, or October, sorry, and it comes into November, right, for a runoff, and you realize if you win it, you win that time, you got November, from November maybe 18 until the whole of December, you got to decide who becomes who in your government. Before it comes to the time where January 22nd, so in like 2 months after you have won, 2 months before your term starts. Nelson, tell me, who needs more than 2 months to put a government in place in Liberia? And I'll hear my brother here being so redundant, telling me that they need to take the time because they got to scrutinize resume. What? Resume scrutinization will take you 2 months? You have won elections in November, and then you come into January 22nd before you are inaugurated, and then you say from there, you are still scrutinizing. When you already told that they won, you get a foot in the door and you'll be moving the country forward. And now we are here, you are trying to, create sentiment around we are destroy country. My sister said, we are destroy the country, you destroy the security sector. I don't know what she's talking about, because the same people that are there, they will still be there. These are police people. They will still be there. The military, the same military George Weah had. You are even promoted George Weah Army into your government as minister. So I don't know what you're talking about, George Weah destroy and security sector. It's just monotonous when people come here and want to make us to believe that what was bad yesterday is good now, and we should praise it because it is Joe Boakai.
Thank you. No. Francis, I see your hand up.
Yeah, just a second. You see, our brother Josh only listens to respond. He doesn't listen to understand. When I talk about background investigation, I was not talking about Joseph Boakai and his team. I was talking about the Senate. The Senate don't know who Joseph Boakai is sending to them for confirmation. And whoever they confirm is going to run the country along with Joseph Boakai. So they have to do their investigation. So when I'm speaking, or people speaking, listen to understand. Don't just listen to respond.
Thank you. Now, I want us to elevate this a bit.
But can I respond to that? He said my name.
Let me correct Josh Quill.
I didn't call your name.
Yes, he said my sister. I'm the only woman on here.
Yeah, you are not my only sister. I got plenty sisters. I got a lot of sisters.
In the comment section, his sister Ruth.
I don't care anybody not to the woman on here, but I'm just still
my sister Ruth Goba. She kidding me in a place again. I don't know what I get doing in North Carolina for my business.
I want to make it clear that George Weah does not have an army. The army that is the Liberian People Army. Those people
granted.
serve the Liberian people. It's not George Weah Army. Thank you.
That point is not made. You said our George Weah Police, George Weah Army. It's not made. So just look for something else to respond to because you did not respond to that.
So guys,
move
let's
on.
move
Okay.
on. Over and over and again, we have heard the CDC government boast of the free tuition policy as one of her major achievements. Under President George, we have 6 years administration. One of the things they can point to, or they've consistently spoken about, is the fact that they took the burden of paying tuition from Omar Musu, who sells of pepper color in the market, and other people, young people across the country who want to acquire higher education. They took that whole stress of going lobbying for scholarship from their shoulders by instituting the free tuition policy. Well, back then, I remember that there was an outcry as well. Some people did not agree with that whole idea of free tuition policy. Well, the administration of the university had their own position on that, considering the constraints they were going through as well. But the CDC government managed to have carried on this entire process. And today, the administration have seen a transition. Unity Party is in power now. Is there any reason for the Unity Party? Is there anything for the Unity Party to look at to want to continue the free tuition policy? Did it make any impact? This policy that the CDC came about, brought about, and a lot of Liberians are now benefiting from. Yes, granted, the Unity Party is yet to take a position as to whether this free tuition policy will continue or whether we're going to stop it. Well, it has become a major political decision now. But I want us to look at this for a minute. Is this policy worth maintaining? Do you support any idea that maybe has to do with the government now canceling that whole free tuition policy and giving the responsibility back to the Liberians, the university students, to go back, hustle, sell a paper color, sell a thing, and go and pay your own tuition at the University of Liberia? Is it me? Let's start with you, Amy, then we'll move to Josh.
Well, Nelson, first of all, free tuition. In no country that college students going to school free. If you want to do free tuition, I think it should be from grade school or pre-K going up to 12th grade and something, and from there on, people can start to pay their own tuition, and it should be taught rightly before you just get up because you want to score political points. You come on, I'm paying free tuition. Even the free tuition that George Weah claimed he was paying, university students, some of them have problem with it. They didn't even have fitting bathroom. The school wasn't even giving the budget that they usually get. They were taking these people money and then they're lying to them that they're paying their school fees. How can you be taking? I was paying my school fee and I was in a better environment, learning environment, and now you're saying you're paying my school fees and bathroom. Even women on campus, they don't have fitting place to ease themselves. Bathroom, classroom, no lab, nothing. And you call that, and you are proud of that you giving free tuition. What about the other people that can afford it, that don't need that free tuition? And the ones that can't afford it, everybody in the same basket. And then the little kids, they don't even have the ones that really need it. They don't even have fitting school to building to learn, no fitting environment to learn it. Then you coming out and telling us that you're paying free tuition, and the free tuition is something. It was a scam to steal from what PTA and all of that in the school budget and all of that stuff. That's what it was. It wasn't nothing. Nelson play like video and show some of the free tuition, free was or something like that. It wasn't protected at all. So it's nothing to continue. It left with the president to review that and see if you want to continue it, but I doubt it.
No, but I mean, considering the situation here, back then, before the free tuition policy, the typical University of Liberia student will have to hustle and get maybe 5,000-8,000 or 10,000, depending on the number of credits you're carrying, to be able to enroll.
And the bathroom was still bad.
With the free tuition policy, these students just have to look for, I think, 1,500 or so, which is just equivalent to maybe 10 USD or something around 20 USD maximum to enroll for an entire semester. So,
and that's
is there anything here that's worth maintaining?
No. The free tuition, no, it's not. If you want to make anything, college students deserve scholarships. That's what I know of, that the people give their college students and stuff, scholarships and stuff. Not no free tuition. And then the environment, like I said, you need good, clean areas and stuff, lab and all of those things to learn. Not give somebody, oh, we paying your tuition, don't pay no tuition. Then the maintenance of the entire campus, you taking that budget, you holding it.
Thank
and
you.
Then you say you doing something for the students. How is that something better? If you want to do it, the same thing my brother Josh came on here and said, if anything is not done right, it's not done at all. So why can't you do it right? Into this age, we got labs on the college campus. You don't have computer labs. You don't have other places and something that you study and say, "Oh, I'm only doing free tuition and free Wi-Fi."
Thank you.
What about it? What about the pre-K? What about the high school student? All of that, they pay all that money, and all you can help them with is free watts and not something to continue with. No, it can be. I mean, it can be put in to deal with in the right way, and if they want to do that, is do it from grade school, or they call it ABC, to high school, but not college student. College student, I think you do scholarships and stuff.
Let's hear from you, Josh.
Nelson, I would have been very happy if a current university student was on this panel. I would have been very happy to have the discussion with them. Well, I'm not going to be having a discussion with Amy or Sandy or Francis, who are sitting in America, who went to free school in America, because I would say free, because government schools are free, and want to say that the people who are suffering in Liberia should be paying, all the monies to be hustling and going to a minister's office. What they will make them their girlfriends before they will be able to
never went to free university. I went to free high school.
If you even did not go to, you went to free high school, exactly. If you didn't go to free university, a lot of people who, the university I went to, once you are, here, it's relatively free because it is what it is. There are a lot of things that can help you to go to university overseas. I'll be very happy to speak to people who are, feeling the pinch in Liberia, them to sit here and allow Amy to lecture us. But look, the Liberian people, the boys that are in university that are actually feeling the pinch and will be really uncertain what's going to happen with their lives. Whether they will have to start going to Maryland or Grand Crew to go and fetch Kasau, like what I did to go to high school, to go Grand Crew and walk from Cleveland to Grand Crew and get back on Kasau, put on my hair and bring it to Cleveland, sell it before I pay my school fees. If that's what they want to go through, then it's okay. I'm out of that. God so loved the world that He loves me, and that now my son would not have to go through that. But we are talking about Liberian people. We gotta be fair to our people. Let me tell you, people in Liberia don't have the means like you and I have. President, we have made a conscious decision. We cannot say it was all rosy, no. But even though Ellen, before her departure from the presidency, she said the educational system was a mess. She still left it in a messy situation. Judge Reakim said, okay, what I can do, I will start from up and come down. Since President Ellen started from down, in the next 6 years, we will start to move down. In the next 6 years, we'll start to come from down as well to meet halfway. That means make the university free of tuition. And then afterward, we'll add the other ones and see how the policy works, because policy is mean testing. You got to test the means of the institution and of the policy that you are putting in place. That's what President Weah was doing. Now he is putting into place this policy that will allow people to just register and attend classes. And I see my sister talking about dirty bathroom. Yeah, dirty bathroom. Yeah, people are there to do it, to clean it. If they are not cleaning, then it's something we can talk about. It's another discussion. We're talking about policy of people now being able to go to school and not having to worry about where they will get money from to pay for the credit unit. You see the credit. So it's the thing. I think the policy should be maintained. And the policy is not maintained, it's going to be a huge outcry in the public because people have become accustomed to going to university and not having to look for money to pay for credit. You know how people that live in real life to come all the way to town, you know how much it costs every day? Then you'll be worried about paying units again. It's ridiculous, to continue to argue about this. I think President Boakai should.
Yeah,
you have to renovate bathroom before you clean it, George.
President Boakai should maintain this free tuition policy, and I can
Definitely.
understand. I can understand where you come from, George, but I want us to go back a little. Due to some reasons, is impossible. It is impossible for me. It's a bit difficult. Let me put it that way. For me to screenshot this thing and have it posted here. But going back to 2019, when this free tuition policy was introduced, the president of the University of Liberia, Dr. Ophelia Weeks, I remember. She came up to criticize this free tuition policy. In fact, she said the tuition-free program at the university, and I'm reading from the New Dawn, May 21, 2019 publication, when she said that the tuition-free education program lacks realistic policy. And she went on to outline reasons why she thought that this free tuition policy was not good for the country. She stated the budgetary aspect of it, how much of a constraint the University of Liberia had at the time. When their budget was around 13 million, they were even crying for that budget to be increased. And in the midst of that, they found it difficult to even pay the teachers. This to talk about maintaining the buildings. She stated all of those things as reasons why she thought the free tuition policy was unrealistic. Now, aside from her, the Senate Committee on Education also came up to criticize that decision. All right. The Senate Committee on Education and Public Administration, chaired by Raymond Cess County Senator Dallas Gwick, said the thing was done with no consultation with the legislature, at least to talk about those stakeholders, people who had some vast knowledge about how this thing should work. Now, with all of those criticisms that the experts, the policymakers, those working in the educational sectors had with respect to this free tuition policy, do you really mean it when you say that you want this policy to be upheld by this administration?
Nelson, I mean it. And here's why I mean it. Look, people are very stubborn when it comes to change. And our people, when you are used, that's why even the harmonization was an issue. Because for you to experience that change in your salary, and then it's going down instead of going up, people are very, resistant. That's what I should say, resistant to change. And they will find all the excuses not to change their way of life or to even cut back on the expenses or what to do to balance with the new reality. The thing is that I understand. I too, initially, I knew it was a policy that was bound to fail, right? Because I know that we don't have the money.
It was a policy that was bound to fail.
Yeah, it was bound to fail. That's what I knew.
But you wanted to continue the fail policy.
Nelson, I need to finish. I need to finish.
But you just agree.
I said my initial. Guess what? Because I'm a human, right? And I have my own thinking faculty, right? And as I look at the budget constraints in our country,
yeah,
to be able to factor into free education in that aspect of it, I knew that there was a major problem because our revenue generation capability is very less, right? Considered in relation to other countries. So I knew that it was a difficult thing. It was going to fail. But guess what? It worked for the past maybe 3 years or 4 years, right? It did work. People went to school. People graduated. And that means that even though there was challenges, there was still success. And the success will tell you that people easily went to university, and guess what? People who are tappers, people who are farmers, who can only pay for the rent for the child to stay in Monrovia to go to school. They could send their children there, and they did not have to go and sell their properties to make sure that their son pays their tuition every time. That was
Thank you.
alleviating poverty. That was poverty alleviation strategy for our poor people. So I think it should be continual. It needs to be continual.
Yeah, we're going to come back on this. But Cindy, let's hear from you. Free tuition policy at all public universities in Liberia. All public universities. Is this something that's worth maintaining? Will you advise the Barker administration to continue on this path of free tuition policy, despite all the criticisms that this policy received from stakeholders in the educational sector?
So Nelson, I want to come to this particular discussion, fleshing out the importance of free tuition, and then we can talk about some of the constraints that it could put on our government and our country.
Yeah.
I want to raise my hand by saying a poor village boy that came from Liberia was blessed by some education assistant. So to have earned 5 college degrees, including 2 masters and completing a PhD program, didn't come all out of my pocket. And I'm very grateful to the American government and some good humanitarians for helping me. So yeah, if there's a need to help people that really need some assistance to go to school, it's important. Free tuition, let us look at the benefits. It eliminates financial barriers. That is the essence, to eliminate financial barriers.
Yeah.
Allowing more individuals, especially those from poor or low income family, to have access to education.
Mm-hmm.
It promotes equality. So there won't be much gap between those that can afford and those that cannot afford.
Right.
Thank you.
So it's important to look at it from that spectrum. Okay? What we want to do as a country is to continue to invest in our human capital. We want to build our young people to acquire the right education so that they can take on to continue building Liberia. So when we can afford as a nation, if we can afford as a nation to provide free education or educational assistance, here in the US, they call it financial aid. There are 2 types. One is what we call the Pell Grants. Pell Grants, based on your income level, you can be granted Pell Grant, which is free, up till your 4-year college completion. So that means you have earned a bachelor degree. Now, for some schools, you may not be able to complete that because some schools are very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But Pell Grant is free, it's intended to help you. I got Pell Grant. 2 associate degree or bachelor degree on Pell Grant. I don't have to pay back. Then if you get to a point now where Pell Grant is exhausted, the government gave you option to take government loan, right? Student loan. A lot of us in the country, we have it.
So okay, Cindy, before you go any further, you are agreeing that free tuition at bachelor's level for undergraduate, level is necessary, even for a country like Liberia.
So I'm coming now. See, I'm educating you. I'm trying to talk about the benefits.
Okay.
I'm outlining the benefits. Whether it is important or it can be done in Liberia, we're going to come to it. Now that we have exhausted the benefit, let's talk about the argument for free tuition.
Yeah.
The cost that comes with it is very expensive. It can have significant cost to government. And I think that's the most important thing we need to look at. George will agree with me, based on what we saw under Mr. President Weah administration, is that there wasn't a thorough study done to implement this free tuition policy. It wasn't thorough enough. I think it was politically motivated. It's good, the intent is good, but the research wasn't done enough to inform the government where the cost or the cost associated with that will come from. Where would they get that extra money from? Okay? So once it is ill-informed, then that means you have to look in other areas of government to get the resources. What we experienced under Mr. Weah, the free tuition came into place, some of our people benefited, but then the environment of learning itself become very deplorable. You cannot say come to school, but then when you come to school, you do not have the necessary conducive environment to learn. Learning alone is not, your learning is not accessible just by paying your tuition. Learning becomes accessible when the environment is conducive, when the resources are needed to learn are provided, when the teachers and the staff of your college are well taken care of. The University of Liberia, for instance, we can agree that that environment needs attention. We saw instances where professors, staff of the university were protesting, where students turned to payers, teachers, bribery,
and all of those challenges, all of those challenges, all of those challenges, right?
Right.
And yeah, so in the midst of those challenges, Cindy, we want to know where you stand. I understand you want to lay the foundation. You want to provide all the pieces of information around it. You want to look at it from the right angle, the left angle, and all of that. Provide the statistical analysis and everything. But Cindy, at the end of the day, this is where we are. This is where we are. From all of what you've said, do you agree that this free tuition policy that the CDC government consistently points out to as one of our major achievements? Is it worth maintaining for a country like Liberia, a country that has a budget of less than 800 million, less than 800 million, with so many sectors to give attention to, where almost every sector is a priority? Do you agree that the free tuition policy is something that's worth maintaining?
So I will say this, Nelson. Given the benefits associated with college assistance or education assistance, I said to an extent, we can maintain it. But let it be done.
To what extent?
To an extent of maybe we say up to a bachelor program. But here is the thing, don't jump into it. Do not use the President Weah policy for free tuition. Let there be more investigation, research done to inform the Boakai administration as to where the funding will come from. Based on that investigations or research, if the administration is informed that funding will not be acceptable, then let us not continue with it.
Thank you.
We can inform the Liberian people we will not continue with it because we are not able to feed it.
But that's what we're saying.
For research, and that we can get the cost while maintaining the infrastructure, the environment, and providing the necessary resources to run our education institutions, then yes, let's continue with it.
Yes.
Wow.
Nelson, just a quick injection, please, before we go. 20 seconds, please.
You're gonna inject, but let me read something out here. This particular article I'm reading from was published on the 19th of May 2020. That's 2019. On the 21st of May, rather. This is the New Dawn. So first of all, in this article, the president, Dr. Ophelia Weeks of the University of Liberia, termed the entire free tuition policy as a program that lacks realistic policy. She says a program that lacks realistic policy. Now, this issue was elevated. It went to the level of the legislature, and this is what this newspaper wrote. It said, in fact, senators at Capitol Hill expressed their frustration expressed their frustrations last week over what they described as hasty manner in which President George Weah made the pronouncement without a blueprint for implementation. This paper also gathered that the UL administration was not even consulted, as its president, Dr. Ophelia Weeks, was reportedly out of the country when President George Weah, who is also a visitor to the university, announced the program. Now, individual senators made comments with respect to this particular thing. All right. So you have some comments that were made with respect to this. So it says Senator Vani Sherman of Grand Cape Mountain County, Milton Tiaji of Sino County, and Daniel Neten of Bapolo County respectively argued that criteria should be set up for beneficiaries of the program on the need to contribute their quotas upon graduation from the university. That's one of the arguments. Another one was that
I agree.
You know, and so many of them. So, Josh, I know you want to interject. You can come in quickly with the point you want to make. Then we will go on and bring in Francis. But this is where we are. From the very start of this policy, there were people, even within the government, some of them criticized this move. They thought it was not timely. Even the fact that the president of the University of Liberia, she was not consulted, she was not in the country, and boom, this pronouncement came out. This is something a lot of people saw as hasty. But go ahead, George. You want to interject? You want to make a quick point? Then we take Francis.
Yeah, Nelson. Look, I agree with the president of the university at the time. I think for the fact that she wasn't even consulted, we will also make her to maybe condemn it. You know what I mean? Because I think there should have been an input from her as well to make sure that the policy was received within the university. You know what I mean? Not just turning through at them. So I agree when she criticized it. I think she had a point. Because myself, I thought, I said, okay, why if a minister's son, you know what I mean? Whose father is working, making a lot of money. He has the financial means to pay for the university. You know what I mean? Why should our taxpayer money pay for his university fees as well? So I think it should have been means tested, right? To say, okay, if your income or your family income is to this amount, we will pay your school fees. You know what I mean? Your university. I think those things should have been put in place. And that's why I said it was going to fail. But guess what? It did not fail. Even though President Weah wrote private jet, he wrote Bugatti, let me name some of the things that. Let me name some of the shoes President Weah wore. White guy is not going to wear any of these things. White guy is not going to wear any of these things. He's not going to even fly a private jet. He will be flying with me when I'm coming from Liberia and going back. So he can use that money to invest in the school. This policy should be maintained because President Weah is not stealing any money anymore. The country is rich. There's a lot of money in that country that George Weah was stealing. He's not stealing anymore. President Bwaka should make sure that money is put to use and our people go to free school because guess what? We are only 5 million people and the resources are get so much and that Bwaka does not need and he's going to spend it on our people to make sure that they get quality education.
Okay, thank you. Francis, let's hear from you. What's your take on this issue? Where do you
I just sat there through almost 30 minutes of talk. So please, don't even jump in where I take you out in 2 minutes. I'm very serious.
No, go ahead.
This is a
serious
topic that's near and dear to my heart. Education.
Certainly, exactly. Pastor Slow, welcome to the show. It's good to have you.
So I started through almost 30 minutes. But first of all, let me disagree with Sandy first by even trying to give George Weah some credit by saying, "Oh, he didn't put too much thought into it." No. This whole thing for George Weah, there was no thought that went into it. You're trying to make him sound like someone who can really sit down and think that policy driven. No, it was politically motivated. Point blank, period. He did not care about what it will cost the country or what it will cost. He didn't care about that. So nobody should even say that trying to make it seem like, oh, the right policy, they didn't do the investigation. You don't attribute that to George Weah because he does not think about stuff for the most part when he does it. So with that being said, secondary education is not a
Nelson, don't allow this guy to denigrate our president here, man. Because even here, when you say, no, don't let him say to our president like that. That's a former president. You can't say that. That the American thing.
I sat through all the crap that you spew here without saying a word. So listen to my crap too, okay? And without saying a word. So
Go
My
ahead.
second
Let's hear
point,
you.
secondary education is a privilege, not a right. The
You think
problem with Liberia is we don't think before we even do stuff. Most of our leaders, and that was plagued with this past government. We have primary education kids from kindergarten to high school not getting any quality education, but you take them and say, "Oh, come to university for free," and you don't even tell the people how you pay for it. Sitting there talking about, oh, in the U.S. we got Pell Grant, we got FAFSA and all these scholarship programs and things like that. But guess what happened in the U.S. and other places? The economy can support it because people are paying taxes. Let me tell you something. In America, what we do is people that can afford, we look for cities, certain cities to live in. Like for my city, it's less than a mile big, right? My tax is almost $9,000 a year. The school there, I came here because now that God blessed me with a kid. When he started to go to school, I want to send him to the public school there because the rating is high. The public school rating is high in my city because we pay a lot of taxes here. But 2 cities down from me, the public school, it's like war zone because people barely pay taxes, and if you're not paying taxes, you can't fund the school system. You see, so people don't even think about all these things. They just talk about free education. I want to say they did not put any thought into it in on a judgment. They only think about saying, "Oh, do you capital?" I say, "I was there. John, we are getting free education. I was there, John, we are getting free Wi-Fi. That's all they wanted to say.
The way.
No, I mean, please mute.
You look at that, right? The people that come out of university, these are people that we are looking for the human. We'll talk about the human infrastructure for our country. These people are graduates as engineers, as doctors, as lawyers, social workers, and all these people. We want them to be well learned. We want them to compete with other countries.
And then you want them to compete. Don't you think you should create an environment where they will not be stressed about how they're going to generate tuition, considering the country itself being a struggling country?
Nelson, then you build the foundation through the primary education system. Let the students learn.
No, Francis, you're saying something else, Francis. Because if you build a foundation, that's another thing. You build a foundation through the primary education and all of that. That's just for that. You're not talking about higher education. You're not talking about university level yet.
Yes,
and that is where people get to acquire the skills they need to be able to contribute immensely to society. It's not that our primary like you're rewriting.
Yes, but listen, this is the problem in this whole thing. What we're talking about, we don't even factor in the instructors, right? We just say, "Oh, send your children to the school," but the instructors don't get paid to send their children to school. But we don't even factor in. How many times do we talk about the teachers that don't get paid? So if the teachers are not getting paid, what better education are they going to give your children that we claiming need to develop skills?
There we go.
What
Francis.
education are they going to get? When they have to pay their way
Thank you, Francis.
Do you want a doctor that bought her a degree or his degree to treat you? Do you want an engineer that bought his degree or her degree to build your bridges? Huh? Is that what you're talking about? So the teachers.
So where do you stay? In conclusion, Francis, I've sat back 30 minutes and just listening to you, Francis.
Don't even lie about conclude. Let me just give me a minute and a half to conclude. We should. I'm off. Okay, let's be serious here. If we can afford it, that's fine. If we can afford it, people are dying in mud stuck on road because there's no good road. So if we can afford to pay to get free university education, why can't we fix the road? The people that can afford university for now, let them go there. Other people can probably go to trade school or go to market. I'm not trying to be mean, but for now, the country cannot afford free education.
Free tuition policy.
They can't afford it.
You think the government should constructing roads You think the government should focus on constructing roads?
Focus
and
on
forget
giving
about
the
free
basic
tuition
necessity,
policy?
right?
It's
Students
not
should be able to go to
necessary
university.
for our country right now. That's what
Students
you
should be
think.
able to go to university at night, and when they're going home, not be afraid that they will get marked by Zogos, because the police will be there. And if they get marked, they know that when they call 911, the EMTs will show up with an ambulance and drive on good roads and take them to a hospital with medications in it, where they will not have to be sent to the pharmacy to buy medication to come back or buy fuel to put in the generator for surgery.
Thank you.
Basic necessity are not provided for our people. They say go get free education and you don't pay the teachers. Be
Thank
serious,
you.
bro.
Cindy, you want to interject? You want to make a quick point, and then we move to Vasco?
I don't know where the disagreement is from Francis. Francis, I think you
No. The only disagreement how you said it when you said, "Oh, Judge," you said something about trying to get Judge credit as to say they didn't think about it well. He never thought about it. He used it as a crying call for campaign. That when he said you saw him during campaign time.
No, I agree with you.
The free education is the way that all the one that I fought, nothing else.
I agree with you. I say it was politically motivated.
They still educated more than 200%.
Come on, Josh, can you mute? Guys, no, guys. Let's give Cindy his 20 seconds because we have our brother Vasco and Alfred. They are yet to make their point on this issue. Please go ahead.
I agree with you that it was politically motivated. So there wasn't much thought put into it. It was done to get some campaigning going. But as a benefit of free tuition or education assistance, I think it's a good thing. But I agree with you too. I think we're saying the same thing here, that there must be some thorough research done. If we can do it, let's do it so that some of our mamas whose children that cannot afford will benefit. I think it's important. And I think we can agree. But yes, I think the only issue that all of us will have with this current free tuition thing that Mr. Weah brought is that the research was not done. It was ill-informed. They did not know where they were going to get the money from in my library English. So because of that one, they not know where the money was come from. That why when they put it there, you go sit there, you say your children there, they not even get barroom. So friends, I agree with you. Let's know where the money will come from. And when the money come in, let it be sustainable. Don't just say we will do it for 1 year, then we'll not be able to do it again. That's why the research is important. Do the research that will be long-term so that Liberian children can acquire, those that cannot afford now, also acquire education so that not only sending children will go to school because Sandy can afford. But if Mr. Flomo, who tapping pound one, cannot afford, let's find ways to get that money so Mr. Flomo children can also go to school.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Cindy. Now, Vasco, let's hear from you. Going back to the history of this free tuition policy, I recall as a journalist that there were back-to-back protestations at the University of Liberia campus over the university shutting down or closing the registration process when the last students had not registered yet and so forth. It got to a point where President George Weah was about to pay this visit at to the university campus, and the students said they will not allow the president to enter that campus. In fact, there was a protest awaiting the president. And in no time, negotiations were made. Boom, when the president got on the campus, he announced a free tuition policy, and that eased the tension. Now, Vasco, judging from what we've seen for the few years now, the free tuition policy, since its introduction by the president, have we had the kind of anticipated impact? Is this policy worth maintaining? Is it something that you think the Unity Party administration should maintain, should hold on to?
Thank you, Nelson. So, I mean, this is worth maintaining, and I think the Unity Party should try by all means to maintain this free tuition policy. Because if you look at their slogan, they talk about rescue. And this is something, Liberian people, this is something that President Weah maintained for the past 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
He maintained it. with all the problem, with all the noise, but he maintained it. I can recall, Nelson, the very first day.
Was it a 6-year program, or was it some part of his
I
administration?
mean, don't interrupt. Don't
Let me
interrupt. Let him finish.
That's a very important
Obtain
question.
more clarity.
George, you're not a moderator.
Oh, it's an important question. It's an important question.
What
No,
about
don't tell me about important question.
Guys,
Then anytime somebody talking, I can ask an important question as well.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
I will
guys.
ask an important question as well.
Let's do this. Let's do this, guys. All right. Vasco is making his point, and that question from Cindy is very important because, especially when Vasco talks about the policy being maintained by the CDC government for 6 years, it's important for the public to know how long did the CDC government maintain this free tuition policy. Well, that policy came into effect, or it was announced by the president in May. Let me get it right. I want to get this particular date right. Okay, so the policy was announced by the president in May of 2019. The CDC government was inaugurated on the 22nd of January 2018. About 1 year after the inauguration of the CDC government, this free tuition policy thing came into play. So practically you have like 5 years, about 5 years, or a little over 5 years, or less than 5 years. That's the time frame that the CDC government was able to maintain this policy for. It was a good one for the sake of our audience. So I just thought to throw that in. But Vasco, you have your time all back onto yourself. And guys, if you have any question, let's have Vasco land, and then thereafter you can ask a question. Vasco, please go ahead.
Okay, so I can remember, and I stand to be corrected. The very first day when President Weah took office, first day to work, there was a protest, serious protest. They had students blocking the street that day. And President Weah asked, what the student protesting for? They said, oh, it was about registration and about to close the registration. Because we all know during those days, students used to line up at the Capitol building beyond lawmakers, beyond ministers, during the Manaseli area for people to give them scholarship and have soup on that campus. Most of the guys were surviving on that scholarship. We know how students suffer to get at the university. There used to be line. A lot of people now used to register during that period. And some of you, a lot of you guys saying, yeah, oh, there was no proper planning and this. No. After that day, the Amos 12, right? Yeah, Amos 12. He was a Unity partisan. That was Samuel 12 brother. He was there. You're one of the administrators there.
No, not Amos 12, Norris 12.
Norris 12. Thank you. Yeah. Norris 12, not Amos 12, but Norris 12. So, President Weah told Samuel 12 and all the guys who came from that university to meet the board of the university to discuss. President Weah wanted to know all the public university, how many students we have, how many dollars the people paying per credit hour. So they did the whole feasibility study, and they came back to the president.
Vasco. Yeah. Are you saying that there was a feasibility study done?
Yes, Nelson. Yes.
Before
I'm telling you, Nelson, go and check. President, we have first day to work. There was a massive protest. Check it. There was a study after they got to know how many students, how many dollars these people pay. President, we said, but we can do this. And one lawmaker during the Manaseri era was making almost 15,000 and this and that. President, we said we can do this thing. We can make these children go to school and stop being protesting all around the street. And being that the government, we all know President Weah, that's why I know a lot of y'all, their President Weah may open Liberian people's eyes. President Weah make Liberian people to know that the revenue that you pay, your taxes, a lot of good things can come from in there. When some of you are criticizing the how you call it, the harmonization process in our country. When you saw people going to school,
So
a person was paying.
Vasco,
Some of the
you are
proceeds that
saying
came
that.
from the harmonization.
So you're saying that the harmonization money that what they use to maintain the free tuition policy.
But Nelson, where you think no money went? Samuel Twe been saying the thing all over the place. There was money that was cut from people because they had some people making 15,000, like a driver, one driver making 15, another driver making 1,000. So they brought everybody to one scale. So that
it further expands the debate. It further expands the entire thing here because Vasco, if you are telling us that John Brown and everybody money were cut to send people to school free to the University of Liberia, then that's a whole debate all by itself. How about the man whose child is not in the University of Liberia? How does he get the benefit from that money that is being cut from his salary? And just to end up on this, I remember from the very start of the harmonization policy, the finance minister and all his lieutenants, what they said to the Liberian people, even us in the media capture, was that harmonization was not going to affect anyone who was making below 500. But immediately when the policy was rolled out, some people who were making even 400, their money started to be cut. They start to receive, notice some cut in their salaries and stuff like that. So if you are saying here, I'm not going by the other things they've been saying before for the sake of our discussion here right now on this platform. If your argument of harmonization and maintaining the free tuition policy is something to go by, and then my question to you is, what happens to the man down there who doesn't have his children in the University of Liberia, but will have to go through this whole pinch of his salary?
Vasco, let me answer him. Vasco, can I answer him, please?
No, if you answer, then Vasco time finish.
Draw your podcast me, but let me say
I will podcast you. Yeah, go ahead.
Although I said no, I don't want nobody to misquote me here.
Nobody
harmonization.
We heard you clearly.
We all should know that even lawmakers in Liberia reduce their salary. Ministers' salary will reduce. The ordinary civil servant, we should be very careful what we're doing. The ordinary civil servant, people who was making $75, $80, they were pushed up. Let's say you know this, you're a journalist. We all know during the Malasari era. Let me tell you how the post-war this country. During the Malasari era.
Listen, but if you say that those people were pushed up and coming, Vasco.
Because the lowest pay now in Liberia government is more than $100.
This is a public.
But everybody push up. Nobody will make it below 100.
This program is going live across the country on several networks, so we have to be careful what we say.
Let's just open the phone line.
Yeah, we'll go to the phone lines. But Vasco,
yes,
if you say that the money that was cut from those people's salary, it was used to put other people up, how come there were people, even at the very Ministry of Information, who were making $45? We have some of these documents here. $45, $80. And up to the last State of the Nation, was it State of the Nation address or something? Even the president had to say that he did not know that some of those civil servants were making below the minimum wage. How come the harmonization was used, people's salary or cut, it was used to carry other people up, but how come those people were their salaries was not top up?
Nelson, Nelson, no, listen. I bet anybody to bring any document. Nelson, I challenge you here as a journalist. If you can get any document from civil servant, if you see anybody that are making $45, I shouldn't come on the show anymore.
Okay. Listen, Vasco, and I like that.
That was all propaganda.
Do you agree? Will you agree with me that the Ministry of Information, at the latter stage of this administration, employees of the Ministry of Education were protesting for increasing their salaries when Dale Francis Red, who was at the Ministry of Finance, one of the assistants to Minister of Finance of Samuel Twe, had to go there and show them that there would have been some top up in their salaries and so forth. Did you follow that development? Do you
I followed
agree?
that, but those people, they were not civil servant. They were never part of the civil servant. Those are our people. They have in our country. They have people. Some people that are in the very ministry. In the very ministry, they are not there. They are not on the even at the House of Legislature. They have people there. They were not.
Nelson, why you keep giving Vasco chance to tell us about that? Can we go to Africa, please?
No. I mean, no. I mean, don't interrupt.
Don't you give me more time?
No, Amy, for the sake of the audience, we have to make some of this clarity.
You have to learn. You have to learn. There will be no civil servant making $100 and another civil servant be making $45. When you go, they have people, some people that the ministers took in some of those ministries during the Manasani era. The government tried to absorb those people. So someone now just getting a step in.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
20 seconds, please. 20 seconds,
Thank
please.
you. Thank you, Vasco.
So doing a lot of jobs to the government.
So in conclusion, Vasco, you think that the free tuition policy should be maintained by this government? You think the reason why the CDC maintained it over the past years was because of the harmonization, and the Unity Party should continue with this free tuition policy is necessary for our country? That's where you stand on this debate, right?
That is why I stand. And if the people that came to rescue cannot maintain that free tuition policy, that will be one of the downfall of Mr. Bwaka government.
Thank you.
Nelson, 20 seconds, please.
Yeah. 20 seconds.
You see the problem with this guy's argument that it doesn't even hold water. First, you can't talk about feasibility study. Whoever did that feasibility study, if they pay that person, the Liberia government need refund. Because it makes zero sense. How you talking about you did a study and you say, oh yeah, we can pay for something, but teachers don't get paid for months. You say out there all these things, you can't talk about taxpayer dollars. People in the country, even EPS people, were not getting paid for months under George Weah government. So how you do all this study? You say the government, because outside Liberia, we are serious countries. When they talk about the cuttings here or they're doing feasibility study to fund something, they see that, okay, all branches of government, all aspects of people's daily lives will be maintained, then they will add on to it.
Thank you.
They don't come and see people already suffering, then they say, let's increase the suffering with your feasibility study. Okay, what are we talking about?
Thank you. Let's leave it there.
Francis,
thank you. Thanks a lot. Josh.
Nelson, can I come in just for 5 seconds?
Yeah, then we take.
Yeah, you asked a very good question, Nelson. You asked a very good question. Say, those who are not sending their children to the university, how do they benefit? It's just a simple analogy I want to give you. You know, in Liberia, not everyone let people love soccer or football. We still pay our national team to go and play football, right? And we use our taxpayer money to fund them to go and play this football. They're not everybody love football. They're not everybody won't go watch football. But they still contribute. That means it's a national rebuilding policy that you don't have to be directly beneficiary. But if you have somebody along the line, maybe in your family or maybe in the next 20 years, you will still benefit because one of your relatives will benefit from it. That's a simple analogy I want to give you. So you don't have to benefit directly. Because the problem with Liberia, one money not coming in your pocket, even when going in somebody's pocket, you say that bad thing. That's what we can always do in that country. It's bad.
Thank you. Alfred, let's hear you, sir.
Good evening. I've been following the show. Sorry for the deep depth of my voice. I'm kind of under the weather today, so I will not be as exuberant as I can be.
We hope you remain under that weather. When you
I've been following the show, and I like to say to my brother Jalayu, my man, you brilliantly lay out the issue about free, quote unquote, free school. The problem with our country, Nelson, is that all the years we have been used to doing, the wrong thing for long. So it has become normalized in our country. This is how William Vietnam used to run the government. When you can talk something, everybody wrong way. Whether you good way, not good way, wrong way. That what happened. So all the leaders that came after him, they continue to do the same thing. Look, on a public sector management, one of the key things that we talk about is strategic planning. You cannot do anything as a government if you don't have a strategic plan. You must have a strategic plan. Now, I listen to my brother here. Look, if you go back to the PAPD, it was more of an academic paper. It was more of an academic paper than a practical strategic plan that would have taken our people out of poverty. You know, I listened to my brother George here trying to intellectualize this the issue of free tuition. Look, I am proposing to the education minister the revitalization that we talk about. One of those things that we need to scratch out is that quote unquote free tuition policy. It's not helping our people. It's only burdening the government. Now, if you add the CDC people, their free tuition policy you're talking about, where the money was coming from to support it. You listen to Senny here. Senny told you that you have to have a strategic plan to know exactly where you are going to fund a particular government policy and how to sustain it. Right now, we are still struggling about primary education. When President Sali became president, one of the areas she started with, she said, let's make primary education free. That means from ABC to 6th grade should be free. George Weah, they even look at that policy. They say everybody must go to school free. Only because they misused $25 million and people were talking about it. So the only way they can appease those young people at the level of university is to say, oh yeah, free education. That's what they did. So for me, that whole policy was a disaster and we should scratch it out. That way I think we should scratch it out and revisit that policy and see how we can revitalize it to make it better by starting from the very low end. Let us make our public school better and make it free. Let us make our public school better and make it free. Now, when you do that and you see how it works and you sustain it, let's say, for example, Nelson, under the Joseph Boakai government, they can say, okay, this will be a strategic plan for the next 10 years that will equip our public school. It's not just about, sending people to go to school free. Technology is expensive. The environment has to be conducive. The training of those instructors has to take into place. So when you put all those factors into place and know where you will get a funding from to sustain it, now we're talking something. But to get out and say, oh, you must sustain a policy that it doesn't even have a fulcrum. Right now, you ask you guys, the policy they're talking about, how they expect the Joe Boakai government to even raise the funding for it. They will tell you, say, the harmonization should stay, we should stay because of post salary, so the whole government can become chaotic. At the end of the day, they say, oh, you say you're doing rescue, you say you're coming to rescue the country, but you're not doing nothing. Yeah, people stay suffering. So now see, the whole thing need to be revitalized, the policy need to be visited, and where we can start from is for us to start from the primary and the secondary level. Let us start from there and see how it works. Then we can put in place that the student aid, the financial aid into our schools, into our universities, where people can sign to the government and say, okay, you're giving me the loan when I graduate, when I'm working, I go to pay back.
Thank you.
That's how it should be. So the whole debate about free tuition should be scratched. We should not even take it as a big thing. That should be scratched.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. And you made your position on this. This is a debate, and of course the administration, the United Party government will make a decision on that, which I think is very important, and they just need to look at all sides of it. But something very important I want us to look at. There was a recent outcry in the country, and this is not strange. This is something we see, especially at this time in our political space, after a particular government have won election, and then the nomination of individuals are going on. There will always be issues popping up about people. Some of those people, things that they've even forgot about themselves, will start to show face. It happened in the case of the outgoing health minister, Dr. Wilhelmina Jala, when she was nominated. Um, a whole lot came up about her Hope for Women clinic, what happened with some medical procedure she should have done for someone. The person lost their life, and there were just so many things that came up about her. So we had similar thing with Madam Sarah Beslow Yanti. A lot was being said about her. Her credential was being questioned. There were some who thought that she could not, while she had the experience on one hand, but based on the issues surrounding her credentials, her academic credential, she should not have been given the opportunity to serve as foreign minister. Well, for them, we had so many people in the country who could serve in that position. But following the confirmation hearing, today, Madam Sarah Beslow Yanti was finally confirmed by the Liberian Senate. Now, the interesting thing is that we have 30 senators that should be representing the 15 counties. All 23 senators who were in session that day, when this confirmation hearing was going on, all 23 senators voted in favor of the confirmation of Madam Sarah Beslow Yanti. I mean, in the midst of everything we heard, we discussed some of those issues here on the platform before. Where do you guys stand on this? This confirmation? She's not the only person, but we want to get your take on this because her confirmation was surrounded by lots of issues, controversies, back and forth, and all of that. Amin Modat, the commerce minister, was confirmed, and of course the police IG, A.B. Kroman. You have other people, the education minister, and all of those other, the first batch, they've been confirmed. But specifically on the issue of the foreign minister, let's hear your take on this. Starting with you, Amy, and then we take Josh. Let's just go by the queue, and then that will take us to the line.
Well, thank you, Nelson. I'm happy for her and that she got confirmed. But I think she went through a lot. And for me, I think she had the experience enough. And I don't know what all the questions were coming from with the degree things. I don't know much about that, so I can't really speak into that. But from some of the things that we heard, that it has some kind of family dynamic to it, that somebody wanted to sabotage something. And when I heard that, I felt really hurt. And for that, I started rooting for her more because I think that was, if it is true, is really, really childish to want to do something like that, to destroy somebody for something like that. But yeah, there was some questioning around her degrees and stuff. But I think she had a lot of the experience that she had proven herself before. And when she went for the hearing, she spoke well and she answered the questions and she did what she had to do. And I think the degree, they might have some question here and there, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, she's educated. She went to school. She knows what she's doing, and I think she's gonna do well in that department. So I'm happy for her. Like I said, I'm glad with all that she went through. She finally, like, the storm is over for her, and whoever meant evil, God turn it for her good. That's
But
what I
what
can
does
say
it
about
say
that.
about what does it say about public offices in our country, especially someone being nominated for such a high profile position, someone who's going to be making some critical decision on our foreign policies, looking out there for Liberia's own interest from the international level. And then this whole thing came up on her, and in the midst of all the arguments, it wasn't a few or half or two-thirds of the senators voting, but all of them all of them. What can you say about even the voting process at the level of the Senate?
Well, I think the senators knew, like, regarding the degree issue, it was there, but I mean, if she hadn't done any of these jobs before, it would be concerning, and people would be more skeptical about what she can do, what she has done. But I think the fact that the experience that she had was more of a applause to me. Don't get me wrong. Me and my brothers, we had the debates in the back, and something I don't have anything with degree. If I did, I wouldn't be something on myself. But I think experience with the years of experience that she had, I think is important as well. And it's not like she doesn't have any degrees. So I think they seen through that, and they kind of, like I said, they just, I think they took it for what it was, and she put in. And the people that was doing this, I mean, no shame to them or whatever. They did a great job, and I respect them, Martin Kuda and other thing. But I think I always thought that something was under it, and I just didn't want it to, believe that this was just all about, because I was concerned that, but why her? Why is the class so much, over her alone? And something like that. But I think the senators seen her experience, they seen her hard work, they seen whatever she done for the past in other countries and stuff.
Okay.
There was nothing there to something, and I think that's what they went and confronted her for.
Thank you. Josh, let's hear from you, and then we'll take
Yeah, Nelson, when I hear my sister stopping with it, when you won't be that job, yeah, then I know say Tina easy to defend. But it's a good thing, Nelson. I think it's a shame, right? It's a shame. But guess what? I saw it coming. I think on the show I made a comment. I said she will be confirmed. Because even the chairman on foreign affairs, Mr. Dillon, he doesn't have a degree. I criticize him all the time, but I like him as well. And don't. It's not personal. The reason why I like him is that, to an extent, his principal manner, he's consistent. He will not make himself one of the most powerful person in Liberia without a degree, and then somebody with degree problem, he will denigrate the person. He will have to lift that person up because he knows he himself that's sitting there, he's not even qualified to be high school teacher. So the problem of the matter is that,
come on, man.
Well, Nelson, in our country, you have to go to.
Because I worked very hard under very difficult circumstances to be able to go back to school, 2006, 2007, to get that degree. I worked hard. I worked very, very hard. It was very difficult with young children, having to take care of them, having to work, to do all of that. It was very difficult to hear. What was most difficult to hear was attacks about my record in the UN, where I've been hailed and lauded and being called to come back, where people try to turn it around to be something different. It's very difficult, but it's no more difficult than what I face with the Houthis in Yemen. It's no more difficult than what I face in several settings where I've given great responsibilities, and I had to be resilient, I had to be focused, and I had to ensure that results were always at the forefront, and that doesn't change. At the end of the day, rebranding Liberia is a very difficult task. No matter what truth we tell them about who we are, we've been known to be something different. When I was taking the decision to come home, and for me at that point, when you're faced with your mortality, please allow me to say this. When you're faced with your mortality and you think that you will not live another year or two, it does something to you. And you feel like life can end any day, and so you will do everything you want to do now. I did speak to the opening statement that I served in the UN before I got my degree. I was headhunted into the UN, into the Global Fund proposal. In order for me to advance in the UN, I needed to have an advanced degree. And I sought a school that is not a bogus school, a real school that was listed on UNESCO listing of schools. It's a worldwide listing that is available to everyone. And in 2006, when I was looking for a school to go to online, I identified Andrew Jackson University. I paid tuition. I took my classes. I ordered my books by DHL to Nepal. I did all of my classes, and I completed my master's, as I said. And to prove to you it's not a bogus school, at the end of the day, it was changed. I know there's some schools we had in this country before that closed down. And my cousin went to St. Patrick's. There's no St. Patrick's anymore. Doesn't he need to go to St. Patrick's? At the end of the day, Andrew Jackson University changed to New Charter University. I was not a student at New Charter University. I was a student at Andrew Jackson. And so
let me save you a positive headache. The committee will report to you regarding your submission of your CV and your academic credentials.
He said, let me save you all the headache. Look, the foreign minister is trying to explain. She's trying to fix this thing that, that the guys brought on her, and in the process,
we're trying to fix things.
Said, let me save you all the headache. We'll go to committee room. That one, we can't talk it outside. We're talking in the committee room. I mean,
so Nelson,
what do you make of the process?
Nelson, you know what? As soon as you put a video on, the only thing I have from her, I work hard. If she wants me to show her who work hard, then I'll go to my village, my uncle with 3 wives, who got to make farm for the 3 wives. Who ain't going in the bush and will be there until maybe come back home. But she talking about work hard.
So
I'm trying to show her the put I work hard. My man, let's forget about that one.
Your uncle
the man gotta work hard and he gotta make farm for all the 3 wives. So you should know he worked very hard. So there are people who work hard. So Sarah should not be telling us about work hard. That's the thing. With all the Rickman road, they want battle behind her. For it to be settled behind closed doors, put a question mark on the whole process. That we did not know how they resolve it. The country does not know. Nobody knows. It happened behind Bugume back. How do the CEO say Jade? It happened in Jade. It's not correct. And I knew that Senator Dillon was trying to put a lid on our whole thing. He didn't want most questions to come from there. So he said, let's forget it one year. We're talking behind closed doors. That is wrong, Nelson. That is wrong. That is completely wrong. And guess what? It put a whole question mark on the system. And forget that question mark will continue to be behind our foreign minister. She's not our foreign minister. So, Honorable, we congratulate you, but it does not remove the question that was placed on you because of what has been happening behind the scenes about your credentials. Look, myself, I worked for 8 years with the United Nations. I worked 3.5 years in Liberia, and I worked overseas for another 3.5 years before I resigned and left. We all have UN experience. We know how UN works. But the problem is that for her to just, put full certificates in 6 months to get a bachelor degree, all the questions were not answered, and then you confirm her. For me, you should have allowed this woman to have exhausted everything she was saying, tell us exactly what she did, how she got her degrees. Then, of course, it was going to be appeasing to people or not appeasing to people. But you just close it. Say, no, forget about that one. We're talking behind Jade. And when we finish, we'll tell you, we'll come back to you. When they come back to her, they don't come back to her. Nobody hear anything. Boom, she confirmed. And guess what? During the confirmation hearing, we all listen. They were all hailing her. Oh, yeah. The other school closed too. The other school closed. They were all cheering squad for her. It is a shame. It is not competitive. I just realized that anybody, President Bouakai sends over there will be confirmed. I think maybe myself I will be confirmed soon. Hopefully.
Thank you.
Let's see.
Thank you.
When he sends me there.
Let's hear from you, Francis. Let's hear your take on this issue, man.
Yeah, you see, every time I sit down, I hear George and the like of Vasco then speak, my mouth just drop. The men calling Darius DeLong saying, "Oh, the man is because he doesn't have a degree, so he doesn't want to give the lady hard time. He pushing her up." First of all, the job of Darius DeLong doesn't require degree to hold that position. It requires lots and lots of common sense, which of course a lot of people don't have. So Darius DeLong fit in his position and he's able to do his job. But you see, I will go back to what our brother said, George, we had time by this time, about 90.99.
How can you understand concession? How can you understand concession? the
George,
concession
you are
agreement that
speaking,
will
I
come
didn't
from
speak.
him for him to approve.
You
How
are
will you
speaking, I
understand?
didn't speak.
Do not
I
interrupt.
didn't speak. So be
Yeah.
quiet, please. So George said 99.1% of George Weah people were confirmed by this time. And you saw what we got. You saw what we got. Confirmation hearings are not child play. You don't want to confirm somebody, then boom, down the line, you find out that, oh, that credential was fake. Now you're talking about Sarah Breslow, wherever the foreign minister, her credential is fake, this and all. Let's just agree that it's fake, right? Let's just agree that it's fake. And then it comes out that it's fake. Y'all were talking about, oh, everybody should be confirmed by now. So they needed to take time to investigate that thoroughly. That's what confirmation hearings are about. But y'all sit out here, y'all telling Joseph Parker, he wasting time when he come from when he appointee and things are dragging on. No, these are serious matters that need to be exhausted completely. George Weah ran his zibbe, I was there people through, and y'all saw what we got.
So
Incompetent people.
I mean, what's your take on this entire process?
My take here is this: the Senate should do their homework on every nominee that comes in front of them and make sure that nobody is perfect. They're not going to get it 100%. We want the government to get to work. But also, when we hear from the other side that, oh, they're dragging their feet and stuff, but then they're on the other side, the person is not competent, what do you want? George Weah nominees? No. So let's let the people do their job, so that we can get competent people over there and we focus on holding their feet to the fire so our people can stop suffering. So the middle class can increase. The middle class is the biggest class in Liberia. Not the poor class, the biggest class. Let's bring people that will bring Liberia back to life. Where the education system will be better, the healthcare system, the security sector will be better for everybody. You think people want to come to Liberia and live in Liberia when you can't even drive at night? When I left Liberia in 2004, I could walk on Broad Street 8 o'clock at night. When I went back to Liberia in 2022, January, my first time back, bro, when I got on Kerry Street during the evening time, it was like Christmas Eve. That's how crowded the city was. But then, go back there around 10 o'clock at night. It's scary. It's scary. We used to walk on First Street, Rana Street there. We go play football game. We're coming back, let the bus put us down up Johnson Street, and we're walking back down to Camp Johnson Road at night. But we don't care. We're walking, no fear. But try it now. Zogo will smoke a boom. Then what you're talking about? We need people competent that are capable of doing the job to bring serious investment back to our country, to make sure our country is ready to move forward. Not this joking thing I'm talking about, play politics with our people's lives. We're fire everywhere, no fire service. Police people can't arrive, EMT can't arrive. People don't have good books to read, no library, what about SDA, the school I graduated from. The city are dropping in the library. The book,
Thank you.
No book there. What are you talking about? Maybe I'm serious here.
Thank you. Vasco, let's hear you
We're
quickly.
talking about Sarah Breslow and Yanti talking about school blabber for
Yeah,
them.
because
Anyway,
all of this contribute to that. When you
I'm
just watch
telling you.
people
we're talking about
Guys, let's mute. Vasco, I want to hear your take on this process. The whole confirmation thing, the back and forth, the credential issue that came into play, and now she's confirmed. All 21 senators, all of them, they voted unanimously to confirm the foreign minister.
I told you the last time I said so.
No, you tell me. You
asked the question when I came here. I told you, I said the letter will be confirmed. I told you that. Those people had they were resolved to confirm that lady. But you see my problem I have with Senator Delon. I know all of you here can remember when George Weah nominated the guy from how you call him? One Darlington that's supposed to be the Darlington Conley. You all saw Delon there around here. I didn't call it then when I know CSCC. They dug all Darlington documents out. Young man who is here striving. He got some knowledge on aviation. I met Darlington right here in Charlotte. He was doing some little contract here with our airport. Got working at the airport too. And he even told me, he said, Vasco, I'm supposed to get something. Oh. I hope and pray. I didn't know that was that kind of a big position he was talking about. But we saw the senator screening this young man. And today that young man wasn't confirmed. So because Madam Beslow worked with the United Nations and worked other places around, but her issue with her education credentials, and those we saw people, the same people that did the fact finding on Darlington County, it was the same people that came out, and it was the same DeLong who was chairing the committee. The man who stood tall against Darlington County was this man who was chairing this committee and telling the Liberian people that we will go in committee room and we'll talk the other matter. I mean, for me, I want, because she's a lady, I want her to go and serve. But you see, in left, if you want to be straight, be straight. People laughing at Yaka Koluba. If Yaka Koluba put him up 2029 to be senator in Maserati, you will beat the law. When you want to be straight, be straight. When you see wrong, you say wrong. They don't, everybody know, they don't want so tough doing the job we are tough. All have problems, they don't, but sometimes some of the things he was doing, we thought he was doing it in the interest of the country. But now he have come now, why he's supposed to show to the Liberian people that what I did doing George Weah, I am the same they don't, I will still do it now. Anybody come here with education or their education credential is having some issue, we're going to check behind it, make sure that you will not be confirmed.
And Vasco, let me say this. You struck a very important point. Bringing the whole Darlington County thing into play. All right. The two individuals have similar story, but also different.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There's some similarities and some difference in the stories provided, or their respective stories. In the case of Darlington County went ahead and put in his CV credentials that he did not have. That's the first thing. Secondly, Darlington County, as per the act that created the how do you call it? Aviation Authority and stuff like that. The Aviation Authority, you should have a degree in that area.
He did not.
Precisely, at least a bachelor's degree. He did not have. There was no school to trace that could be traced as to where exactly Darlington County got his first degree from in aviation studies or whatever. Rather, he got certificates, but went ahead and put in a CV how he got a degree, and he could not prove that before the senators. You want to compare the two cases?
So how you compare that?
Okay, no.
Vasco can't be serious. You see, that's the
No,
lines that they come up with.
I'm coming. Let's give Vasco his time. Go ahead.
He also lied on the job. He said he worked at Boeing. So how you compare that?
They're saying sometimes when you say you're neutral. Sometimes all the information is people leave it all. That'll provide a fact for the people before. I was just sitting down in my memory.
No, guys, please don't do this. No, guys, please don't do this. Let's give our brother Vasco the time to exhaust this thing. Then we'll move to you, Alfred. We're about to go to the lines.
Okay, so Darlington County lied on some of his credentials, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah Beslow also lied on obtaining certain certificate during certain period of time. So the both of them lie. So if you're holding one person against lie pertaining to their credential, you should also hold the other person. Whether it was a big lie or small lie is
you have any evidence that
she never lied. She never lied.
That you prove
You
your
never know.
lie.
You don't
Do
listen
you
to
have
me.
But
evidence?
guys, we can't be doing this.
I just said,
But you're just gonna let them throw the lies out there and leave it, right?
let's
No.
have Pasco to land.
Gentlemen,
Pasco,
look,
please say your thought.
into campaigning any longer here. We are not yet
We know
the
that.
Unity Party or CDC. We are discussing the issue about Liberia. We are yet to checkmate some of the things that you guys will do. So you don't have to go back and say, "Oh, doing job." You know, you guys are better than the CDC people, according to you. So don't keep going back and be making reference.
You the one who went back,
okay,
Vasco.
so
But you
Nobody
still
did.
have to lie also.
Just
You still have to
conclude,
lie in your
Vasco.
You
comparison.
the one brought that
Please
into
conclude.
up. Nobody did.
Please
You the one
conclude.
went back.
Please
So
conclude because
Nancy,
we have to make progress
Madam
here.
Beslo lie on some of credentials. And I listen to Martin calling them very well. She lied. If that woman was saying the truth, they don't know what else going to say that, go to committee room and discuss it. Because they never wanted her to be embarrassed. And Daniel Collins also lied. So lie.
Thank you.
If you could do it to him, the woman is not the only qualified person to be foreign minister. So today, let me tell you, the foreign minister we're going to have now, that foreign minister will be having a stigma that she lied on her education credential. That's going to be going with her everywhere.
Thank you.
That's not even.
I'm laughing because of how passionate you are when you talk about the lie. You
Yeah,
know?
they lie.
But
I support her, right?
Cindy, did it escape you?
I support her. I want her to be the foreign minister.
No, come on, you didn't support her. Don't try to play
right?
that.
So you Nelson Lele will be confirmed.
But okay, so let's take Alfred, then we'll come to you, Cindy. Alfred, please go ahead quickly.
In this public manner, I like to say congratulations to Madam Sarah Beslo Yanti for her preferment and her subsequent nomination as Foreign Minister, Republic of Liberia. Nelson, my thing is, with all this hullabaloo that is going around with this issue of Mrs. Beslo Yanti's credential, right now, I would say to you, I am not going to go into an argument with these guys because the credential can be traced. We know where she went to school and everything, right? My own reservation here is now how Madam Yanti will lead the foreign ministry to bring our country to a place that we expect. Because all of these allegations about her credential and she lied on paper and what have you, she now has an opportunity. She now has an opportunity to prove herself. Because, you know, for me, Nelson, let's say this. The woman has the experience. And we'll be checkmating her every step of the way. Look, one of the things that I would love to see her drastically addressing is that issue of sexual harassment. And she has committed herself to ensuring that issue of sexual harassment that took place at the Liberia consulate in New York is investigated, and we can have a serious logical conclusion to it. Those that are responsible should bear the full weight of the law. I'm very serious. I'll be watching her in the next few days and few weeks to see whether or not she will take that very seriously. On the other issue too is our passport. She committed herself of investigating that passport process. So I'm waiting to see what rigorous actions she's going to take to ensure that we respect our passport is respected. So that's what I'm waiting for. That's what we'll be talking about, because we got her clip and we'll be waiting for her to prove herself. Thank you so much.
Sandy, you want to close on this one and just take us to the phone lines?
I also want to extend my congratulatory message to her and to all of those that have been confirmed to serve the Liberian people. Nelson, the issue of education or academic credentials were accusations. And there were two sides that were very strong in defending or speaking against. The side that defended her also outlined a lot of reasons for Liberian to believe that the institutions she attended are valid and that her academic credentials are valid. The side that says no, she don't have it. I say they had a lot to prove, or and that we couldn't really, to me, I believe in education, right? I do, but I also believe that there are some people we call lucky career individuals. They are blessed. They manage to make their way up. Not necessarily that they have the education, but they know how to do the work. For her, she took a different route. I mean, she was very lucky and blessed in the process to have ascended to some level at the UN. And according to her, she chose to go back to school.
Yeah.
Now, the senators, in their wisdom, decided to do their own investigation back door. And I believe before her confirmation, it was proven by them that her credentials are valid. What I want to also warn the senator is that there shouldn't be an area, or the Senate should not be an area where individuals would just escape, right? There must be, I'm encouraging her. I'm not saying she didn't, I'm not saying she don't have the credential. I'm just saying moving forward too, that they must also be fair to the public, that when they investigate certain things, let them come back to the public also and inform us of their finding. When they belong to us, we will take it to the Senate, to the committee room.
Yeah.
And that when we do our research, if we have any doubt, we'll come back to you. That's what they told her. And without the public hearing what their findings are before she got confirmed, I would say that it's also important for them to come to the public to let us know what their findings were. That way we know exactly, why they found her. But sincerely, I would tell you, Nelson, that I believe she will be a better foreign affairs minister. I think her experiences are very solid. I'm looking forward to her service to Liberia. The issue of passports, we talk about it here, being in the hands of the wrong people. Hopefully that can be addressed. My concern also is really directed to our embassies around the globe. I think they should be looked into. Those serving us outside of Liberia should be prioritized so that Liberian image outside of Liberia can be respected. I was in Brussels not too long ago, and the condition of the Liberian embassy there is deplorable. The conditions of our foreign servants there is deplorable. Some of them have not been paid for months. Some of them are being kicked out of their apartments. So I want to encourage not just Madame Beslow, but the Liberian government in general to really prioritize our foreign service individuals that are outside of Liberia. Congratulations to her. Congratulations to all of them that have been confirmed. Go and serve the people and not yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Mr. Jirau Cindy. Of course, that takes us to the phone lines. I know, Alfred, you want to come in with a point, but just jot that point down. And then once we come back from the line, from the phone lines, you can include that and just have your closing done. But let's take some calls now. 0555-101075 is our local line. 0555-101075, and then we have the WhatsApp number right on the screen there that you can call. And so we go to the line now to see if we take our first call here. Who's this person here? Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Good morning.
Morning.
I call you from Kubuna.
You call from where?
Robbie.
Okay, please go ahead, sir.
I listen to the conversation. Sometimes they can be interesting and sometimes it can be frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys who are backing who are saying that the result of the harmonization give support to the free education at the Bureau Public University. They are speaking as though they are not Liberian. Maybe they were just want to support anything from the past regime. Imagine government were paying civil servants, I think, around 300 million annually. After the harmonization, it was 295 million.
Yeah, 295 million. Yeah.
After harmonization, the well bill went to 300 million. So it
320
means
billion.
there were even additional money sourced out to be added to the way bill after harmonization, meaning there was no money saved from the harmonization. Our salary that were cut, there were no money saved from a government had to source money from somewhere else to even pay additional people. So that harmonization did not benefit the Liberian people anything. It only plunged them into poverty.
Thank you.
And let's go back to the university, the free education. It was a plan. My brother is a professor there. He had a series of meetings and asking the government to reverse the situation, but because it was a political decision, they couldn't do it because it would have taken some political capital from the president. So that thing was not well thought. It was a haphazard decision. That's why there were always protests. There were always filthy bathrooms. There were no chairs. Students always took one chair through all the day. Everywhere you go, you have to carry that chair.
Thank you.
And those are strenuous conditions under which students should learn.
Thanks
it
a
should
lot.
never happen.
Let's do you there. Thank you. Hello. You're live. Your name and where you call from?
Yeah. Good morning, Nelson. My name is Joseph S. Allison. I call you from Kuwait.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yes, I want to speak specifically on the issue of the free tuition.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing is that the free tuition was politically motivated. And I want for everybody to understand this. The free tuition issue came about when the 16 billion saga and the UL students took that thing to the street. They were very, very strong on it. And so Samuel Twe cleverly, a vice president, we had that to make the thing off and bring the student down, must offer them free tuition. So it was specifically on the University of Liberia when President Weah announced that. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Just wrap up.
Now, there was some university also heard the news that President Weah announced that there will be a free tuition for the University of Liberia. And so Thomas University also talked to the students to need it. And that's how President Weah came about and said, across the board, there must be free tuition. So it was politically motivated, and it was because of the 16 billion saga.
Okay.
And how what happened.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Let's go there and take this person. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Thank you. Let me say a pleasant good morning based on the timeline to all of you. And I joined the discussion District 4. And this is the voice of Akwe Ebue Senior.
Yeah, Akwe, please go ahead.
Yeah, quickly, I want to speak to the two issues that were discussed on the platform. The first thing has to do with the free tuition policy. Like many have.
Oh, too bad we lost Akwe. We hope we can have you back on the line. Hello, you're live.
Good morning, Brother Nelson.
Morning, you're live on the show. Let's hear you.
My name is Brother Sonny. I am the one that spoke to you 3 days ago. You gave me the number. It didn't rang, but it didn't have any response. So I decided to just let the cat out of the bed this morning, please. I'm a visual impairment, suffering here already. I'm begging you and your team to kindly help me with whatever God lays on your heart. I have so many problems, but the key ones are food, renovation of my 3 houses, and that of my children in school. Please, whatever God lays on your heart, Brother George, Sis Ami, the rest of the team, Vasco, Alfred, and all of you, I cannot name all of you, but this is my appeal to all of you for assistance.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Nelson, please throw his number.
Yeah, I took his number already. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Go ahead. You're live.
Nelson?
Yes, sir. You're live on the show. Let's hear you.
Thank you. This is Vapla calling from Delaware, the U.S.
Okay.
I thank for this show. Actually, I wanted to speak on two of the topics you got discussed. I specifically one of which happened to be whether there should be free tuition, whether it should be maintained.
Yeah.
I would say that that's a good idea, but not at this time. We can look for other means to be able to sustain students at the university. If the government has to maintain that, as other people have said, that will put a lot of burden on the government. But equally so, we can find some means through which we can generate funds to assist students. I want to have one or two suggestions as to how we can maybe get some funds. Number one, I would suggest that other people said we need a lot of road network, but equally so, if like most countries around the world, even some areas in Africa, if we can have maybe toll booths allocated to various areas within the country, we can generate some funds for that.
Okay.
Another means by which we can also generate funds are through taxes. Let's say, for example, they have a lot of people bringing all the goods out of the country that we have those same goods within Liberia. Let's say, for example, cement.
Thank you.
We can put a tax on those things, or maybe liquor. And put a liquor in some other areas. We can put tax or even gasoline.
And you think that can be that can be diverted, and you think that can go towards the free tuition policy, right?
Yes, okay. All the stuff. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Let's hold you there and take another person because we're seriously running out of time. Hello, you're live.
Thank God to the one Lisa.
Yeah,
yes, Nelson, how you doing?
Yeah, go ahead.
To never survive it. Yes, okay. Thank you guys so much. Amy, thank you. You are a brilliant, smart woman. I really, really admire you on the show. You guys talking about the free tuition thing. I think there should be no free tuition when it comes to university. Free tuition should be for only high school. Anything you don't suffer for, you don't value it. That's why most of our boys and girls, men and women to that university there, they don't want to leave because they're sitting there and failing classes. But if you pay for those courses, you will be very serious to get out and for you to empower yourself to do something else. So this whole free tuition CDC brought, it was a scam. Let me tell you, to subside the noise that the university students were making from the $16 billion saga.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot.
In the university, the government, nothing.
Yeah,
anyway, I was talking to on my podcast. Fine, I'll go ahead. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot. Let's we then take the last two calls and then we wrap up. We are seriously running out of time. So let's take this call. Hello.
Hey, Nelson, how you doing?
Yeah, you're live. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Thanks for the show.
Your audio quality is not good. I don't know what's happening, but the audio is not coming in right. Yeah. Maybe you can try to call back. Yeah, the audio is not good at all. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Nelson, thank you. I was on the line, but I got harmonized. So, like I was saying, I just want to talk on these two issues quickly. Like Vas said, there was a feasibility study done on the situation policy. I want to respectfully disagree with him. Look, I don't think there was a feasibility study done on this particular free tuition policy. Because if there's any feasibility study, once you carry out feasibility studies to do something, that is, you must put it into practice and it must be sustained and maintained. But what I saw during the President regime, this particular thing was particularly politically motivated. There was no feasibility study about it.
Let's hold you there. Thank you, sir. Hello.
Hey, Nelson, how are you, my brother?
Okay, yes, sir. We're okay. Let's hear you.
So, am I clear now?
Yeah, it's much better. It's good.
Yes, anyway, thanks to you and thanks to your panel again. My name is Harry and I call from Virginia. The quick suggestion there is I love your show and I love your panel, and you guys are deep in the knowledge of all of the issues you discuss. But I think made a suggestion to you. I said, Nelson, I appeal to you. I don't run your show, but I say, can you just increase the time for your listeners? This is a critical time for Liberia. Folks want to speak. And I think we want to hear from, why it's true that I want to listen to you guys, but I would love to hear from the folks who are in the midst of the problems, especially those from Liberia. I can suggest a format for you. Again, you can decide that. I would rather love, this is a 2-hour show. So what I want to see is that when you start your show, you take the first 30 minutes. What's on your mind? That would take the first 30 minutes. You guys, go around the table. You don't have to take a long time, no back and forth. And then immediately after that, you give your listeners the next 40 minutes. Then you come back and close the show with the last 50 minutes with the highlights and some of the most important things. Keep in mind that in Liberia, folks want to participate, but they feel sleepy, it gets late, and they go to sleep. So you are losing audience, and you want to keep these people on board to speak, so that you can learn from them. We can learn from them, right, Nelson?
Thank
right?
you. Yeah, that's a great one.
Sir. I mean,
That's a great point.
It's just an appeal. I'm not forcing you, Nelson, but I love you. I love the show. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a whole lot. We appreciate that. So we take this one. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you call from?
I'm Vonley. I'm calling. Hello.
You're live, sir.
All right, Nelson. I'm calling from Brooklyn Center, Minnesota.
Okay. Let's hear you, sir.
And
in
order for any,
can you
Hello?
reduce the volume of your TV or computer?
I have nothing on.
Okay, but I keep hearing myself. But go ahead, sir.
All right.
Nah, I'm still. There's something on. Something is on.
All right. Is this okay? Is this better?
Okay, yeah. I think so.
All right. In order for any country to grow, to develop, to prosper, you need to spend a lot of money on education. And not just education, but technical education. We have a lot of liberal arts education, on liberal education in Liberia. When you spend money on education, it will bring about technology, and the technology will bring about money. Okay. Yeah. So we need vocational schools in Liberia. We need technical education.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And so we have too many PhDs, master degree in international relations, public administration, and this is not helping us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And the government can take this time to look very closely and invest in something like engineering, medical school, and anything science,
Thank you.
We have all these people that want a job because everybody got master degree.
Yeah.
And the master degrees are not helping us.
We
need something that will develop money, that will bring about money.
That's technology. A very important point, sir. We appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks a whole lot. Let's squeeze in the last call from our local line, and then we be out. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Moses Carter. Are you from Soul Clinic?
Yeah, Moses Carter. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you for the show. I want to speak on the issue of the free tuition.
Yeah.
Let me give me a little time. I want to elaborate on it. Our brother Joy and your brother, when they saying something, did you say things that will make people look to be happy about their saying when it doesn't want to defend it, say they fight. I was at the University of Liberia at that time. I was junior student. Before then, the teacher college and now the medical college are free for in-service or teachers. I hadn't did that to encourage people to come to education fee and down the medical fee. And during that time, tuition was paying $4. We were 400 LD per credit. So the semester, the former president, we came in to just announce the free tuition that at that time, the registration time on Go Look, they increased from $4 to $6. We were 600. Instead of paying 400, the administration increased it to $600. Now we the student at that time we say no, it can't be. We can pay the $6 or $4 thing, or it be reduced. For that thing, student protest on the campus for that reason.
And the protest now led to the president going there and making that pronouncement.
Yeah. So that very day, when the president went on campus, we not expected the president to say, "Oh, free tuition," but we just hear, "Oh, they say the president announced free tuition." And my brother, from that very moment, we used to buy pamphlet 150 LD. The moment the president announced that, we started buying pamphlet. The lease was $5 US. Even to photocopy, we used to pay $5 for sheet. We started paying $10 for photocopy. Even so, instead of carrying class and professor will carry class, they say you have to put money together and buy chalk.
Put money together and buy chalk in the classroom?
Yes, we put money together, collect money, buy chalk because they put in law instructional material. Most of the professors they said, but how the government will announce free tuition, there's no policy in place, there's no instructional material, how they expect them to teach? So it get a lot of difficulties. We need to pay $20 for a bus. They increase to $50. So we started saying, they would say, but I think it was better for us to pay our regular fee than to say, oh, free tuition, then things have been difficult on the campus. You know, the only good thing for me, I know that I benefited, that it was very good, and that doing the negotiation started doing anything was the online registration. That alone, that person, we are doing his time, we started benefiting that. So I must admit.
Thank you,
sir. Saying that the paying free tuition was a boost. Even our college, they used to ring, my brother used to ring, we'd be walking water to go to class.
We appreciate
the building was leaking all over. When we started, when I had session. You see,
Nelson, let the man talk.
There's nothing for you to use. All the barring was locked. Before, even a female used the barring, it was a disgrace. You had to go in the bush. We had to know we didn't make.
Thank you.
So, if you want to do this kind of thing, you should be looking at the learning environment. Don't laugh. Imagine my practical year, I was to do a farm management. I was doing farm parties. The tractor that there was no gathering to use it in the tractor to go to practical. No way.
Thank you, sir. Right there. I appreciate it. So as someone who went through that, now I'm coming, sir. Hello, are you there, sir? As someone who went through that situation, do you support a free tuition policy? Do you want the Unity Party government to continue with this free tuition policy?
For me, maybe when I'm saying people will say, oh, because he benefited from the free tuition, but I want the government to start with the secondary or the primary free education first, so that there can be
Vasco, people position your camera, man. I don't want to see the other part of the body.
How to deal with college free tuition policy.
Are they calling for your chest?
Thank you. Thank you.
I felt wonderful.
Thank you. We appreciate you, caller. Look. Yeah, there are certain things. After you too military, you know, there are certain things. Call the man on the phone or send the man a message. You know, but the moment you correct the man on certain things on camera, everybody out go there. Then the thing you trying to pretend, everybody see it. They make sure you stomach on camera, which we don't even want to see. We are not interested in. Then you correcting the man. Anyway, guys, we have to move on. Sandy, you want to do your closing first?
I hope you were listening to that, and I know George is in the back listening to it.
Nelson and all of you here, it was a good show. I think the debate on the free tuition or education assistance was a good one. We also then briefly talked about the confirmation of Madam Sarah Beslow and the rest of them. So I think we had a good show. Look, education for any given country is very important. And when there is a need to give assistance to those that cannot afford it, it's important to render that. I benefited from that, and I'll continue to say it. So it's good to extend him, but I think we can all agree that there is a need to really look into it to determine if we can afford it consistently for a very long period of time. So there's a need to revisit that program and see if that's something that the Liberian government can afford. What I want to also say that we now, I mean, we have we just confirmed an education minister that comes with a very good background, solid background, great experiences, and I hope that she can be supported by the executive and by the legislature. Supported morally, financially, that department must be fully sponsored and funded so that she and her team can improve the education sector of our beloved country. Let us also, as a country, start to look in the direction of promoting tourism, taxations, let the Liberian people resources start to benefit our sectors like the education, the healthcare, so that Liberia as a nation can continue to do well. But I must agree with a lot of callers that call here that the program had good intent, but it wasn't well done. And I think if we're going to do it again, or if we should maintain it, let us do it better.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I beg to leave. I have to go pick up my beloved daughter from Bible study.
From Bible study.
So
thank you.
All of our commenters and my fellow panelists, I say good night. It was a great show.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Francis, you want to do your closing?
Yeah. So, folks, thanks for joining us every night here. You know, it was another debate, a good show. But I just want to speak directly to our Liberian people. We are sitting outside of Liberia. We are not going through what you guys are going through. But we also too want to come home and also know what happens here. So don't get angry if they come and say no free education. You got to pay your school fee. Don't say, oh, Joe, we had time, we did it. You should get angry if you are still suffering for your basic necessity to get business necessity or business needs met. You should get angry if security, healthcare system, police, fire service, non-existent. You should get angry if the cost of living is increasing and you can't get a job. You should get angry. Liberian people, we are not lazy people. Right now, you're not paying taxes. How you expect the government to seriously fund free education? It's not your fault. Because they create a condition for you to not work. They create a condition for you to be beggars. Begging them. That's why they can come and say, oh, the 15,000, 20,000 a month we made, the people in our villages, they can't beg up for money to go to school. They can't beg up for money when our children are sick. They created a condition. So if the private sector is booming, you can sell your market, you get jobs, you won't care about any free tuition. You will start looking for better school to pay for your children to go to. That's what you start looking for, and that's what you should want. They lie to you by saying free education, so you can't be giving them a hard time. They think that you think that they're doing you a favor, but they're not. That was a lie. So when Baka come and say, "Oh, no free education," but he drives down the cost of living, and the companies coming into Liberia where you, your wife, your children can get jobs, and you can pay your own school fee, accept it. Because so everything are free, so now it's not good. Not everything that's free is good, like we saw in the last 6 years. So we hope Baka to fire to make sure you guys have a better quality of life. That's what you need. Thank you.
Vasco, let's hear you, sir. Vasco, since you set the camera here, your volume. We're not hearing you, Vasco. Can you log out and try to log in? Can you do that for us, please? Something is not okay with your internet, Vasco. I think, look, the CDC cyber team needs to help you. You know, and for every time you come up here, there's always something. Don't tell me because your government is not in power again. You know, it's too early. It's too early for Vasco to start to face internet issues. But let's hear Let's hear from. Okay, we have Vasco back. Vasco, what? What's going on? Were you waiting to leave set to start chewing or what?
Now who chewing so quick?
Anyway, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Oh no, gentlemen. You know, sometimes it's good that we take out the political heart and
lady.
And speak. Sorry, ma'am. Sorry. And speak for our people back home. Look, the free tuition policy at the university or public university, it was not just seditious that were benefiting from it. It was Liberian. It was people from different backgrounds, different political parties. Looking at the economic hardship around the world. And you guys sitting on this show today, I don't know when you guys left Liberia. I left Liberia 2017. I know the history. I know what happened at that university. I know when the student get on the rampage. This thing that President we are introduced at that university for any other government to come and deprive the Liberian people. Liberia is not like America yet. What we work on every morning, we get a little job to go and do. You know what brought the protest? Because they increased the credit our fees from 400 to 600. That what brought the people in the street. So do you think, do you guys really think that people, that their families had to go to the market to sell potato greens, that President we have took that bread from their head? You want to come back and encourage President Boakai to take away that free tuition? Are you guys really thinking that those people that were benefiting from that free tuition, they are Liberians? So, I mean, we have to rethink. And I want to urge the president, do not listen to what people will say. You cannot take bread from people's mouth. You cannot put more bread on the people that you want to go and rescue.
Thank you.
Things will be tough because the president, I just listened to the president said he wake up in the morning and listen to BBC. He wanted all people to be patient because it's going to be tough. Now he know that it will be tough. So if it will be tough in our country, the little ones that will bring the minds of the people down, he got to continue here, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. So I'll urge the president to continue on this thing. And you guys shouldn't play politics out of this.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vasco. Alfred, you want to?
Yeah, see, I will quickly jump into this thing. I will wait for you to introduce me. Because, you know, I listened to my brother Vasco here. He said there was feasibility study. When I came, I told you here that the PAPD was more of an academic paper rather than a practical strategic plan that would have yielded fruits. Now, I quickly open the PAPD for our audience, and I will just go to higher education to defeat the argument that you guys are running with that we should keep the free tuition policy. I will just read few lines. Higher education, in fact, it was not even captured. The whole issue about this free tuition was not captured. In fact, it was not even part of the strategic plan within the PAPD. Let me just read few lines. It says here, 34 higher institutions of learning comprise the network of degree granting institutions in Liberia. It goes further to say the most fundamental of which is the failure of aspiration of thousands of youth who graduate with the academic accreditation but cannot find suitable opportunities due to a lethargic growth of formal sector employment opportunities. Furthermore, the rapid growth of the number of privately owned institutions has not been accompanied by significant improvement of academic standards or innovation in pedagogy. That is to say, they found out. God told us that the academic people they not writing no strategic plan. They're telling the Liberian people that our schools, we have schools in Liberia that are graduating people, but they don't meet the opportunities. So they were going to come to visit. Let me read a portion that they talk about specifically that they will come and say they will visit. They say, moreover, higher education studies are presented from an You will see the perspective.
Sorry, I got the rescue people not to wear
No. Listen, we told y'all that the free policy thing is not working. We need to revitalize it. We need to fix it. So I just want to go back to the PAPD that you guys say was power to the people, and one of those people you're talking about was higher education. You say our school abroad was tailored around European education. It was not tailored around our culture. It did not even capture our way of life as Liberian. Our culture was not kept in our school. So you are coming to face it. Now why in your PAPD? Tell me, after 6 years of Joshua rule in Liberia, which one of our primary schools that even teaching civic to tell the children about the flair of Liberia? Tell me how the flair was made. So you
want to make the thought in your closing or what?
No. I want you to know. That this PAPD was more of a.
Just put that video up.
Yeah. So, Nelson, let's be clear here.
You said the PAPD was more of what?
It was more of an academic paper. Like you read your TC, you're talking about stock, you want to pass, so you read a brilliant paper. Where anybody reads it, yeah, you did good.
Your reflective vacuum in terms of your nominals applications.
My man, slow down. All the people are not understanding because
Not that one. The one that's
your reflective vacuum in terms of your nominals applications.
My man, slow down. All the people are not understanding because
Why they make it understand? So you want
that means the highest paid podcast host in Liberia. He's not lawmaker.
He's
not a work for teacher police newsroom. He's the highest paid podcast host in Liberia.
Next, am I protected?
Lee Kuan Yew, you are protected. Just take 20 seconds because we have
10 more seconds.
Thank you. To conclusively conclude, look, I am calling on the education minister to conduct a feasibility study and also call a national dialogue for education in our country. Let us look at our districts. That expand it across the country. How many high schools are we need in the entire country? So all of us can come together and strategize in the next 10 or 20 years what we want to see our education system to, specifically primary and secondary area. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Lee Kuan Yew.
Emmy, you want to take us home?
Yeah. So, Vasco, you heard a student call here that went through the mess that was created. And then you call in there freeing people from burden. This guy said they were paying $4 when that school fee went up. But after the so-called free tuition came, they were paying $5 per pamphlet. They were buying chucks. They had nowhere. They were throwing chairs around. And then you call that
the university don't use truck. The university don't use truck.
They have more responsibility than the tuition I was taken away from them after that came into play.
The cost for a pamphlet increase.
Yes. They have more expensive. So how could you call that a help? And you're asking that we all have already said here, free tuition is a good thing. But you don't do it because you want to score political points or you want to quiet people down. If we had done a study like you said he did, he would have listened to the experts. Then even the president told him that it was a bad idea. People from the house, he never listened. So how can you come in and tell us that something JMB should continue? No, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
We cannot continue, and we were not advising to continue it. So, congratulations. Nothing. What are you doing?
I thought you're done.
No, I'm not done. I didn't say I rest my case. So, congratulations to Madam Sarah Besler Nyanti. I'm happy for you. I know you will go and do well and I'm rooting for you. And don't pit a naysayer, any man, the experience that you have. Go ahead and prove people wrong. And I'm rooting for you. Girls power, go break her legs. Thank you. I rest my case, Nelson.
Thank you. Thank you, Emmy. Thanks for being here tonight. Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Alfred. Thank you, Vasco. Well, for us here in Liberia, BB's birthday is over, but those of you in diaspora, the day is still going on. Again, we want to say happy birthday to one of our panelists, one of our team members, BB Dory, Beatrice Fala. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday to Beatrice. Wish her all the very best as she celebrates another Nature Day. And yes, we can only sing the birthday song when we eat the cake. No cake, we're not singing the birthday song tonight. In fact, we sang the song yesterday. But again, we want to say happy birthday to you, BB. We wish you all the best as you celebrate your birthday today. And then yes, we have to go. I want to say thanks to everyone out there for following the show tonight. Thanks to I'm not seeing it. It's not coming through. Thanks to Robert. Thanks to Robert. Marwan.
Rico.
Martha. Yeah, Rico. Yeah, Marwan. Thanks to Martha, Josh, Bob. You're watching via YouTube. Yeah, and all of you, man. We appreciate you for
Deacon, Billion,
Samuel Carter, Ruth Goba, Ruth Goba, you always hear Cotto Williams, Steve Bange.
I mean, what can you do to bring Ruth Goba home?
Teresa Fatoma, and
my girl. I need to call her.
And Chala, we appreciate all of you guys tonight, man. Thanks.
Otto Williams.
So we'll be here tomorrow. Until then, have a good night. Vasco, thank you for being here defending the CDC and preferring some very good ideas to the Unity Party, because I know you want the Unity Party to succeed. Vasco, that's your plan. You have a very good plan for the Unity Party. You want them to succeed. That's why you're here. Keep advising them to succeed. Keep advising.
When you come with the facts, don't kind of
come with the facts. Lee Kuan Yew. All that thing.
You, my man, you giving me Neo. In that brother, calling me Lee Kuan Yew.
No, in the family section, they call you Lee Kuan Yew. After Lee Kuan Yew.
Send me friend request to put it up my knee. Lee Kuan Yew, the woman need it. Send me friend request. What I'm preparing so.
Your reflective vacuum in terms of your nominals applications.
My man, slow down. All the things are not honestly because you for me.
All that thing you thought, Lee Kuan Yew.
So what a girl talking about? How she know he's not understanding?
No, but the girls
for the next year, why would be here to?
Every girl said she was staff.
She's one of the staff in the office. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then the guy speaking, what is your nominal vacuum for your advocacy? While the guy is talking, the guy is telling the journalist, ask question where they make it understand. Ask question where they make it understand.
So she knows his ability.
As the guy landed, and then she's telling the guy, then her boss is telling the guy, my man, all that thing I can't understand it because the English be for me. So why he's explaining that? He say, you know, ask question why they make it understand.
Shit.
That was one two. Already, Yaga Koba was just waiting for him because you could see the man just looking at him.
At the point, the lawmaker was lost. Listen, just watch the thing. At some point, he was lost. He was just looking at the man. Nominal vacuum.
That's what I'm saying. He was very serious. He's not
your reflective vacuum in terms of your nominals applications.
My man, slow down. All the things are not honestly because you for me.
He was. You see her face. He was serious. He's not playing.
No, when the conversation started, actually, Honorable Yaga Koba pay attention. His physical attention was on the guy to see the kind of question that was coming. Unfortunately for him, in the midst of the question,
No,
the guy was
Alfred,
so
in the
dramatic.
midst of the question, he got lost.
Yeah, he got
The
lost.
lawmaker got lost. See the way the lawmaker is sitting.
Your reflective vacuum in terms of your nominals applications.
My man, slow down. Slow down. All the people are not going to say because
he got lost.
The man don't understand.
She said, ask question what the man will understand.
And then when the man said he's lost, he said, the man don't understand. But yes,
Well,
man.
Nelson, good night, man.
Yeah, good
Well,
night,
Nelson.
guys. Yeah, we look forward to a great show tomorrow. Folks, that's how we'd like to join on the curtains on the late night show tonight. Join us tomorrow for another edition of the program. Until then, I'm Nelson Colette. Thanks to all of you for always making up time to be here with us. Making your contribution in the comment section is amazing. We appreciate all of you in Radio Land who make up time to watch, to listen to this show on YouTube, on Facebook, everywhere you're watching the show. We appreciate you. Thanks to our partner radio stations across the country that are relaying this program as well. Till we come your way again. My name is Nelson Colette. Have a good night. Liberia is all we have. Let's remember to keep the peace.
Yes, sir.